everyone finds a place for themselves down at the shore.
So I'm going to announce this right now. MMR is excited to bring to you what we are calling the Jersey Shore 64. All right, so what this is, it is a bracket full of Jersey Shore favorites, and it's going to run the gamut. It's going to be all over the place, and it's a bracket of which you will vote on. Those votes determine which of these places win the head-to-head matchup for each round. Round one voting is actually open right now if you go to WMMR.com. And at the end of all of this, one Jersey Shore institution will be left standing, and they get a Pierre Robert live broadcast from their establishment.
That's pretty friggin' awesome.
We went from
Absolutely.
Atlantic City down to Cape May.
Okay, so AC down to Cape May, pretty much, and it's a variety of different types of things. Did we get? We were going to get a list. I haven't really had a
Do you
chance.
want the
We were
actual-
checking it twice.
Do you
to
want
take
the
a peek
actual
at that.
bracket printed out?
Yeah, something like
Well, I
that.
got
I mean,
it.
I haven't had a chance to really take a peek at all of these. I know that a lot went into narrowing down the 64.
Yeah.
And it got contentious.
A little bit, yeah.
It was so difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because initially, so the way the edict started was Chuck was like, we need to come up with 64 things at Jersey Shore to put on this list. All right. And they were thinking, man, it's going to be hard to come up with 64 things. There ended up like being 150 that had to be narrowed down to 64.
Yeah.
Because everybody contributed, hey, this place and that place or this location and that
I
location.
don't know. There's hardly any of this stuff that I know, so I'm very excited to see what's on the list.
Yeah, and technically, actually, Kath, it goes from Brigantine to Cape May.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Brigantine
is Brigantine before Atlantic City?
It's north of
It's
Atlantic
north of
City.
Atlantic
Oh,
City.
okay,
North of
sorry.
Atlantic City.
Yes, Brigantine is in there.
And then luckily, there's a lot of us here in this, at MMR that we go to different towns. Like I'm not a Brigantine guy, but Brent Porsche and Tim Graham are. And I'm not a Sea Isle guy, but Kathy is.
Yep.
You
So
know?
I'm not a guy.
there's going to be loads of matchups, and we can kind of
Watch yourself, mister.
we can go through a few of these. I mean, I don't have to do the actual bracket matchups. I can just kind of name some of these places.
Yeah.
That Steve, I'm sure you've heard mentioned now, and I've only been a regular Shore visitor and part-time resident for this is our 4th year,
And you love it.
Before that, I never really did venture to the area much on rare occasions.
I never really heard you mention it. For how many years have we worked together? And it never seemed to be something on your radar. And then something clicked.
Yeah. I never really, because my version of the beach is not growing up in this area was Florida. That's all I had. I had palm trees and what that whole beach experience was. And the couple of times I went down for a visit here, I'm like, well, this is not that.
Yeah.
This is a little more crowded than I'm used to. It's a little bit different. But when we finally started going and relaxing and enjoying it, I'm like, this is fan-freaking-tastic.
So you're sort of still a newbie, like, you know what I mean? And
totally.
so some of these things that you might not have known about, like, you're going to go and visit them.
Yeah,
That's what I think is so intriguing about this list.
Well, listen, I went and had dinner on Saturday night at a restaurant that I had never been to. Preston had been there twice, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "I've been here my whole life."
I suggested it
twice already.
suggested it to him. Well, but I mean, but I'm happy because this is a new chapter of my life. At this stage in my life, I love stumbling upon things that I'm not familiar with, and like, why haven't I always been doing this? But you know what? I can do it now, and that's the important part.
What I'm fascinated about, and what this list does include, is coming the things that are on the way to the shore that have become, as you get closer to certain towns, things that are not necessarily on the shore or the shore, but back, a couple miles, 10 miles, 15 miles, that becomes something that, this is a place you got to go while on your way.
Yep.
And that whole thing becomes reinforced as well.
Yep.
What were we talking about? The house with the chair?
Oh yeah.
It's gone now.
The chair balancing.
The chair
on it.
balancing.
Yeah, the whole house is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it became a thing for a while.
Have you ever seen the Monsters Inc. Field of random doors? Have you seen
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay, right
Yes.
off of 83.
Yep, absolutely.
That was something that I drove past, I don't even know, a million times, and I'd never noticed. And then somebody said it, told me about it. Steve, it's next to this church, and it's just these doors. It
Doors?
looks like, it just looks
like the Cadillac Ranch, basically, of doors?
Yeah.
All right, so
that's not on the list, by the way.
So let me mention a few of these. Now, these are seeded, by the way. The Jersey Shore 64, if you're just tuning in, these are seeded. It's a bracket style. So you're going to have your number 1 seeds going up against your number 16 seed.
All right.
And so on until it breaks all the way down. So I'll give you like one of the first matchups is going to be Maury's Piers, seeded 1, against Longport Fishing Pier. I don't know.
I'm not familiar with Longport.
It's a bridge basically that everybody goes to go fishing.
Okay, and imagine Pierre Robert broadcasting live from a fishing
Longport.
bridge.
Oh man, yeah.
That's what I'm wondering is where he's going to end up.
I'm going to warm you up, my good citizen.
So here's another one. Let's see. Number 1 seed, Manco and Manco.
Yep.
Against number 1 Tavern. Number 1 Tavern's in
that's North Wildwood.
North
that's
Wildwood,
the Tully Nut place.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their cocktail, right? The
I
Tully
remember
Nut.
going
Got the
there.
memories.
Do you remember walking out
I
of
just
there?
don't remember leaving.
Right?
I remember having a gurney strapped to me.
You know what's funny about that Tully Nut is you're like, man, there's too much ice in this thing. That's
there's
there to
not.
save your
I
life.
can have 4.
That ice is there.
Isn't that the year that you showed up green to Keenan's?
That might have been the year I showed up green.
We were there the night before.
It was always super smart to go to the number 1 before the Keenan's broadcast. We would go there on Thursday afternoon and stumble out at some point in the evening. It's terrible.
I'm going to go through, rather than give you the matchups, I'm just going to mention a few of these locations.
Yes, please.
And then you'll have to check out the bracket to know what all is pitted against each other.
So pitted.
So pitted.
Fudge Kitchen.
Yeah.
What is Fudge Kitchen?
They're all over the place.
Real? Are there chain down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
like where
just straight up fudge.
it's where you go to get fudge, and they also have saltwater taffy too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. How about the Doo-Wop Wawa? That's the one in Wildwood.
That's like I think the most. That's a unique Wawa.
Explain why so.
Well, I mean, it's got the neon sign, you know. So just
it kind of has a 50s look to it.
Aesthetically speaking, it fits in the vibe of Doo-Wop Wildwood.
Can I tell you that
Wawa.
that retro look which is pervasive in some areas?
Yeah.
I love that look.
Yeah, me too.
It just is so cool.
The Cape May Lighthouse is on there. So there are some historical sites as well. Lucy the Elephant.
Right. So I'm
as you would
familiar with
imagine.
that. I've seen that.
Absolutely. Core Brothers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Custard. Ice cream.
everywhere
Core
has
Brothers?
Core Brothers, right? Like, does there...
Custard. So just custard or is what else?
No, they're custard.
Okay.
I mean...
Well, the orange
Jimmy's.
stuff is not custard.
Yeah, what is that?
It's
Is
like
that
a sherbet.
Sorbet, yeah.
Yeah. Or, maybe so.
Sorbet.
A sorbet, as we used to call it when I was a kid. Ernest and Sons. Some of these I don't know.
I don't know Ernest
Oh,
and
I
Sons.
do. It's a deli in Brigantine, and it's like if you go to Brigantine, you're eating there.
All right. Island Aqua Park.
Yeah, that's the one in Stone Harbor. That thing...
No, that's the one in
Ocean City?
No, that's the one in Margate.
And Margate.
Margate has so a lot of these towns have the water park in the bay where the kids can go. You pay for an hour, whatever it is.
Where's this one?
The largest one is in Margate.
Oh.
It's the biggest one that they have.
Yeah, I've done a similar one, Casey. I think the one that you were alluding to earlier. But Steve, like they set them up in the bay, and it's all these like bounce houses where you can just. It's so much fun for kids.
So Nick, it is literally on the bay.
Yeah, it's in
the water.
It's in the water.
So these are all like floating
And
attractions.
Steve, it's one of these things
Wow.
where like you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks like it's a lot of fun. And so as an adult, you go out there and you are exhausted after 37 seconds. You need a goddamn life jacket to get out of the water.
As a 4-year-old swims you back to shore.
Also on here is the Princeton.
Yes.
Avalon.
I mean,
Yes.
I've been
that
there.
just says Avalon.
What
period.
and that?
A bar.
Oh, it is a bar. Okay.
Steve, they had the block. They were. Did they sell it, Kath? Because they were asking $60
that's right, they were.
million dollars
Yeah.
for that.
So
60.
Steve, basically, it's like it's an entire block long. Like it's sort of like Keenan's. How Keenan's takes up like that. Princeton just kept taking up more and more of the block.
Same story, same vibe.
It's nicer now.
It's a little nicer
back when
than
we were
yeah.
21. It was just a hall with
It was
beer
my
in
entire
it.
20s. It was so great.
All right, here's one I did venture to before I became a regular visitor. The OD.
Oh, yeah.
Ocean Drive.
Well, and they've actually updated as well. They've got an outside beach bar now, which is really cool. You can still go inside and have your eardrums blasted by whatever music is playing. But yeah, they do have an outside area that people love.
There were a few MMR live broadcasts from the OD over the years.
It used to be the follow-up sort of to Keenan's, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I wonder what happened there.
Well, maybe we're going back.
Who knows?
right?
Keenan's is on this list, by the way.
Of course.
As you would imagine. And by the way, you can see all this stuff at WMMR.com. You can vote on the Jersey Shore 64, which is brought to you by DHY Motorsports. It is a bracket-style battle that's going to happen through the summer.
You know what? It's
Pierre Robert is going to end up broadcasting at the winner.
Preston, it's a great way to support one of these places that you go to that you want people to find out about.
And you will have to tell them if it's a regular place, regular that you go to. La Scala's Beach House?
Yeah, so that is the old Laguna Beach Bar in Brigantine, which was, listen, it's new ownership, but it's the same exact place. But
And that's like, it's the beach bar. You can go, families can go, parents can get a cocktail, kids can play in the sand.
And not all of these are bars either. So you have Cape May Wicker.
Cape May Wicker. All my late night wicker needs.
It's not just a wicker place.
What is it?
Anything nautical, beach, bar, all that.
If you
need
own
outdoor furniture, if you need any kind of
anything.
decor.
If you own a house down the shore or you rent a house down the shore, something in that home is from Cape May Wicker.
Do they have a ship's wheel coffee table?
Oh, yeah, they do. We have a surfboard coffee table from Cape May Wicker.
Oh, okay.
And instead of legs on it, it just says the word surf really big across the bottom. So
I think I'd like to check this place out.
You would
I love
absolutely
stuff like that.
All right, what is, and we're going through these brackets, and Casey and Kathy were a big part of the process of narrowing this down. There were several people here at the radio station that helped put this all together. But what is I lost it here. There was one I was not familiar with. What is Ventnor number 7311?
You got to ask Marissa. She's a Ventnor chick.
It's like a smoothie and morning place where you're going to go. You're going to get smoothies. You're going to get your healthy food.
Your
from.
acai bowls.
Yeah.
Acai?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's Tomatoes Longport.
So that's wrong. I tried to get them to switch it. It's Tomatoes is in Margate and it's a restaurant.
Okay, it's just called Tomatoes?
Yep.
Is it good? They sell tomatoes there?
Oh, yeah. I know. A friend of mine used to go there. I remember him telling me about it.
It used to be just tomatoes?
Just tomatoes and nothing else. What else is on
What do you got? Tomatoes.
So there's a place on there that I wanted to make sure that was on there, and it was going to, whether I said so or not, but I've never been there, and it's Twisties.
Well, how do you know if it's worthy of the list?
Because
go ahead,
I've been
Kathy.
there.
Kathy, okay, so what distinguishes Twisties?
So Steve, you'll appreciate this. Twisties would remind you of that bar that the fishermen once they get off the dock in Montauk that they go to. So this is Twisties is on the bay, but that's what it would remind you of. It's just
where Quint would go for a pop after work.
Yeah, it's like a dive bar on the bay, but it's the most beautiful view. It's in the middle of homes. You would never, people who don't know where it is would never be able to find
Twisties.
it.
Which town?
It's I believe,
Is it Strathmere or no?
I don't know. No, I think it's still considered Sea Isle, but it's right on the edge of Sea Isle and Strathmere.
There's a bar that was right, at the point of Montauk, Kathy. That was where the guys would come in and they would have the fishermen would come in off their trawlers and
ahoy mateys.
In case they'd sit down for scrambled eggs and scotch. I mean, you're like crazy.
All right, here's let's see. All right, here's one that anybody who's been down the shore with any regularity or actually less than regularity would know. Uncle Bill's.
Yeah.
The pancake joint.
I got my.
Oh, you
Uncle
guys
Bill's that I
rave
like.
about this place, right?
Yeah,
It's a great breakfast spot.
It is, and I have my particular one that I like to go to.
Which one? Do you not want to say?
I'll tell you off the air
Okay.
because I don't want to wait in
They
line.
get mobbed.
Yeah.
Steve.
Do they?
But Nick,
okay.
I'll give you a hint.
Is it round?
I'll give you a hint. It's a location that you wouldn't mind going to.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
My son has had, when he was 2 or 3, he was pretty well behaved. One of the only god-awful temper tantrums he ever threw was at Uncle Bill's in Cape May, and he lost it.
Oh.
And so that's a fond memory.
So you have that.
All right. The question is, do they have tabletop pancakes?
Yes.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, they got damn good pancakes.
Here's one. So not just restaurants and bars and so on, but here's one. The OC Surf School,
Kathy.
Ocean City
Did you do
Surf
this
School.
one?
Ocean City Surf School. No, Jace did not do this. Wait, did he do this one? Yes, he did do this one. There are 2 in Ocean City.
It's
so
just a surfing school.
it's a surfing school.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, they have kids on the beach. They have a camp in the summertime, which Jace did a few years ago, and the instructors are great. It's the reason Jace knows how to surf.
Wow. All right. So you can vote for these now. It's up and running. And there's everything. There's golf courses on here. There's obviously.
We put the golf course on there for you, Preston.
What course did they choose wisely, Preston?
Stone Harbor Golf Club.
All right.
It's a private club. I've had the pleasure. One of Casey's neighbors is a member there and took me. It's a beautiful golf course. It's a very difficult golf course. And it's a number 1 seed, so it's one of those that you definitely want to play if you get the opportunity to or not.
And it's up against Twisties?
No, it's up against Marita's Ice Cream. Actually, so another ice cream joint.
Yeah, that's a homemade ice cream place in Sea Isle.
Okay. So you see,
Cape May Brewing is on there. The Willow Creek Winery, like there's all kinds of.
yeah, Mud Hen Brewing is on here.
So the idea is they aren't directly going. It's not always a case where they're directly against a competing type of business or a competing type of experience. It's just what floats your boat, so to speak.
No, I mean, listen, some of their social media presence had something to do with their seating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some are more active on social media than others. There was Kathy and I had gotten into a nice debate over 2 different pizza places in Wildwood because it was like, if you're going to have Sam's Pizza Palace on there, you have to have Max. And if you're going to have Max, you have to have Sam's because those are the 2. Listen, there are a ton of pizza places.
Does either one have the glug, 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 glug?
Well, Max, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I told. I go, you have to pick one. It's one pizza place per town, and he was like, "No, we can't. It has to be both."
It's got to be both.
It's got to be
Casey,
both.
can you make the noise, please?
Blah, 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 blah.
That's it.
Tomato sauce coming out of the huge contraption.
What's the case in Wildwood? There was, I think, like a store you put on here. It looked really
Sun
cool.
Jam?
Sand Jam.
Sand
Sand Jam, that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
People have stickers on their cars and stuff all over the place of Sand Jam. And I
Is
guess
this like a surf shop?
it's a gear joint. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, surf.
Okay.
And, surf equipment and
Beach
and,
leisure, if you will.
All right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good places like that. So, all right, so you can vote for this now. We're going to do this over a course of a number of weeks. And right now, it's week number 1 that's taking place.
Yeah, I think week 1 goes for until I thought I saw June 6th is the first round, and then round 2 will start on June 6th, maybe something like that.
All right.
I already did my voting for the first round.
So we're asking for your help. You can go to WMMR.com and do this. And like Steve was saying, if you happen to, if you've got a little bit, if you got some skin in the game, if this is your place, if this is one of your favorite joints, or if you know people that work there, make sure you reach out to them, and they can then get the word out amongst their, their social media presence, and maybe people will vote for them.
Yes. Yeah. Support the business you enjoy.
And could end up having Pierre Robert broadcasting live, like we did for Keenan's Irish Pub on Friday. My God.
Oh. I mean,
that was insane.
It was,
you try to explain to people, and again, how many you really have to see, unless you've been down to see it, you have no real comprehension of what it's like.
Well, and Nick kind of summed it up too. That morning was like, we'd never know. We can't tell the temperature of who is going to be there, if people are actually going to show up or not. And I'm always like, well, I hope we get a crowd, And
I went to the bathroom and I came back and you turned to me, Preston. You're like, "Hey, Nick, look, people showed up."
Yeah.
And the entire bar was packed.
Yeah.
It was at 7.
Well,
I've
never seen it fill in quicker than that.
At 6:15, you turned to me, you're looking. You look at me and go, "I think we promoted this too much."
Yeah, I think we oversold this.
Yeah, as they all walked in, I was like, "Is this like crazier than last year?"
It was categorically, Kathy, exactly more packed, more densely packed than it has ever been. By 6:15, I was saying this to Nick as I was passing by him. I said, "This is what you would see traditionally at about 8:30, 9
That's
o'clock."
Right. Yeah,
that level of crowd density.
Well, I didn't get to check the crowd beforehand because usually they're lined up down Old New Jersey, down like First or whatever, down to Central. So I didn't get to take a look at that. But I do have friends that went for the first time ever. And so this is just based on people who have never experienced it before. And it was, for those guys, they were just completely blown away.
Yeah, it did. I went up on the roof before we started, Case, and I took a little video. I'll show it to you later on, of people tailgating out front, sitting in chairs, and they had been there for a while, and it did go all the way down to Central.
I went out and chatted with those guys before the show started, Preston, and they were just having so much fun just sitting in the chairs, and they all had drinks, and the guys turned and they're like, "Hey, by the way, no booze in any of these, don't worry whatsoever. We're completely sober." They had been partying since about 4:30 in the morning.
And we were planning this thing for a few weeks just leading up to it. And what's funny, and I didn't tell you guys this, but I was talking to somebody in our sales department who we work closely with for this event. And I said, the one thing I haven't done yet is I haven't talked to Keenan's about we're going to do this race outside. And usually we have to, alert people. And I said, I'd rather just ask for forgiveness than permission and have to jump through all those hoops and stuff. And then like the mayor shows up like right when we were about to do that.
No.
I was like, oh no. But like we ended up. I didn't.
It was
all
fine.
good.
It was
You know what
fine.
happened too?
You know?
Which you want to talk about literally a perfect storm. About halfway, 3/4 of the way through, it started raining. And so
what a blessing that was.
That drew people inside even more.
Yeah.
But it also kept things kind of cool and manageable.
kept the bugs away too.
Yep.
I mean, that was the big thing.
Yeah, those sand fleas were obnoxious.
Awful.
It was painful.
Yes.
You're getting bit by it.
They give you little nibs.
I've never experienced that.
I was thinking about that afterwards, Preston, and if that was the worst part of the morning, it was still a pretty damn good morning. You know, like if the sea fleas were the worst, or sand fleas. The only other thing that was bad but good was crowd karaoke. Because the contestants that signed up for crowd karaoke, I guess maybe didn't know how to play crowd karaoke. There were a few songs that the crowd sang really well.
Yeah.
And
they didn't pick up on them.
Yeah, they had to discern what the song was by reading the lyrics, which they did.
This is dumb.
There's the only indication, but they were really delivering the goods.
Yes.
I was getting them. I couldn't see what it was.
I don't know. There were a couple where I was like, I don't know
was
what
one.
the hell
was
they are saying.
Tempted, they couldn't quite get. And Born to Run.
Yeah.
From
Jersey!
Jersey! From
It seems
Springsteen.
like
They couldn't sing it.
It seemed like it took them a little while to like get into it. Like
Yeah.
it didn't start off right away where like you could understand what they were
did
saying.
Tempting good though. I thought.
All right, because you started singing.
I started it off.
You
'Cause
helped them
when
out.
they looked at it, they were like, "What the freak is this?" I'm like, "I got you guys. You're gonna know this as soon as it starts."
The best one was Total Eclipse of the Heart, though,
Yes. Yeah.
because the crowd
They
kept singing, and I'm like, all right, I'll let you keep going. I was going to cut them off, but they kept going. But the one girl who was my favorite line of the morning, where she steps up and all right, you ready to play? And she goes, "This is stupid. This is dumb. You can't understand what they're saying." And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
it is how the game works. And then Casey, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh, look, Kathy's twin sister is in the contest."
And I said,
dumb.
let's hear her out, guys. Let's hear her out.
And then I got an email from someone, and I had to clarify to them. They said, "I was so disappointed. I was listening to the Keenan's live broadcast, and I heard a contest, and this girl didn't know the answer to the song, and you started calling her a dumb bitch."
Oh my god.
And I said, "There you go. I would hate to see that you guys are turning into this type of thing."
Yeah.
And then I clarified. I'm like, "Look, you have to understand. It's something that we were talking about on the air last week. It was a story Kathy told, and her friends made a shirt that said 'dumb bitch' on it."
It's actually Kathy that's the dumb bitch.
Kathy's the dumb bitch. And then he got back to me. He's like, "I thought it might be something like that because you guys wouldn't do something like that."
No, and that's something we'll probably have to reframe a couple of times for people to get it. But yeah, that's the whole. And if you haven't heard the whole genesis of that, it's hilarious.
And I kudos to Marissa, who posted a video of the Spit Don't Swallow contest with the milk.
I'll tell you.
She had both groups going at the same time, and she has a panel above and below where you can see them going through at the same time. And it was great.
Marissa, how did you not gag making that video?
Kathy, there's like a moment during those broadcasts where it's just kind of out of body and you're not realizing what's going on. But then I turn my head and I see the 30 people just in the front row behind me gagging. And that's what I was like, oh.
We've had people with raw, like full seafood creatures in their mouths and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I never saw more people disgusted by milk, simply milk that you could purchase. But there was something about the notion of warm milk being transferred from mouth to mouth down a chain of people that just got everyone sick.
Somebody sent me video from the crowd or pictures from the crowd of my reaction to that contest, and they're just great.
Well, Casey was reading my mind because when we were done and we had those 2 giant containers of the milk that had gone through 4 different mouths
dear
to
God,
make it
in
into
heaven.
there. And I was like, if somebody drinks this, if somebody will polish this off, we will. And Casey's like, I got $100 right here.
$100.
Thank you. Stake 'em up, by the way.
And that guy, Gary.
Yeah.
Poor bad.
Freaking
I was like,
Gary.
you just have to take a nice big swig of it. He's like, I'm drinking the whole thing.
And he did.
And he did. And he drank it like he was doing a yard of beer. He was like twirling the glass and everything. He was the guy that was wearing that big hat who I had up on stage for a contest prior. And I go, tell us about the hat. And he just goes, Thank you.
Thank you. That's right.
What an an incredible story.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of him was because I could barely watch it, but when he was done, he was like, "Yeah!" He was like cheering and like right, guys, like waiting for people to like high five him, and people were literally like backing away from him.
Well, I need to apologize to Gary because he ended up showing up backstage later on, like a half hour after that was over. And I was like, "Can I help you?" He's like, "Yeah, there's beer back here." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Didn't you just win $100?" He's like, "Yeah." And I go, "Why don't you go buy yourself a beer with some of that cash you just won?"
There were a couple of people who felt that once they were chosen for a contest, that it was free reign to be backstage and milling about. We're like, no. We're over. We have other people that we need to corral now.
It's a lot to juggle.
That staging area is not somewhere to hang. Like,
oh no. There's nothing sexy about it.
No, it's nothing. There's nothing sexy, and also it's chaotic because we're trying to get stuff done back there.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos. I have to say one of my favorite moments was the beer mile. I loved watching, especially the top two contestants sprinting in and out of the Keenan's and then down the street and then back again. Like they were hauling ass, and they were both trying really hard to win.
Well, we have Kelly on the line.
Oh, nice.
And she's the one who came in second place, so we're going to go to her. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Awesome. How was the rest of your weekend?
Honestly, we just rode that beer mile high. We drank so much beer.
You did.
You were hauling ass, Kelly, and you were doing it with no shoes on. I was so impressed.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I am really pissed that he won. Number one. I was like, he was in my sights. I was ready to get him. But my feet were torn up at the end of that race. Like, my feet are ugly right now from how much I was sprinting on that concrete.
You were booking. You were really pretty much on his ass. He had been to the Rolling Stones concert the night before and had like an hour's sleep, but still his legs were
really
almost
tall.
Your entire body length. Yep. And the fact that you were able to be as close as you were meant you were hauling ass.
I know. I was so angry. I wanted to humble him because he's like, I'm a marathon runner. All right.
Well, I will say I was rooting for Kelly. I did want Kelly to win, but I will say I forget his name, the guy that won. I think he was kind of just playing along. Like I think he was letting her be like. And then,
really?
Yeah. He I think he did that easily.
He was a marathon runner.
But I know.
But Kelly, you probably couldn't hear it, but when we were inside the bar and you started catching up to him on the stretch, the crowd really started making noise. I was like, oh my God, she's going to do it. And then, of course,
I know. And I listened back. I mean, I feel like when I don't know how you guys do it, but when you're up there, you really can't hear much of anything.
Yeah.
So I really had no idea what to expect. When I listened back the next day, I was cracking up. I was like, they want me to win.
Yes, we did. You were really amazing. And the fact that you started with shoes, took them off, I have no doubt your feet were sliced up because that was a good run.
Yep.
Yeah, I gave it my best. But honestly, 100%. I need to redeem myself. I will be there next year training. I will win, and I will duel against Todd. I do not.
All right. We'll see if we can arrange that.
We'll consider that.
Yeah.
Did you stay down at the shore for the weekend, or did you come back, or what did you end up doing?
Yeah. So we stayed down there. It's actually funny. It was my birthday, so you guys shouted me out at the beginning. I felt so loved, but we never get to go down the beach for that weekend because it's Memorial Day. It's tough to find a spot. We finally were able to go down just so we could come to the WMMR. So it was my fiance and our two friends that came that really don't even listen to you guys. So they were there supporting me and just being there to hear you guys. It was great. They loved it. We had so much fun.
Awesome. Well, tell them to get on board. They can be part of the family for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Kelly, thanks for being there. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.
All right, see you later. By the way, she mentioned she had gotten a shout out. I wanted to do this one because I had gotten an email. They wanted a shout out that morning, but it's just too nuts to do this stuff. So this is from Ryan Hope. He said he'd like to get my wife, Alice, huge fan. She's turning 50. We'll be at Keenan's with a whole group of our friends to see your show kick off the summer and to celebrate Alice's birthday. And you'll know us by the matching T-shirts. I don't remember which group of
there were a couple of them.
Shirts they were. Said, would it be possible to get a shout out for her birthday? We're good friends with Casey's friend, Brett Walski.
Oh, okay.
And he can vouch for all of Alice's work on school board in our elementary school and how she founded our local food bank, Upper Marion Area Community Cupboard.
That's nice.
So this is from Ryan Hope, and here is a shout out for you and happy birthday. And we hopefully made a memorable morning for you with the live broadcast and all that went into that.
How was the rest of your?
I had a great weekend.
Yeah,
man. A lot of fun. Our best friends came down and spent the weekend with their daughter and friend. They were at Keenan's that morning and ended up staying after we left and drinking for a while. After we left, we went over to Surf and Pig and had lunch. A bunch of us there. That was it ended up being a beautiful day.
Were you the designated driver? The text chain seemed to indicate.
I drove myself.
Okay, all right.
But I quit drinking at Keenan's years ago. It killed me. Mm-hmm. I saved it for later on in the day. And then I ended up making a seafood boil for the first time. So later this summer,
I saw that. That looked cool.
Yeah, later this summer, we're having a bunch of people from Sweden that are coming, and they're going to stay at our shore house, and we're going to have like 15 people. So
wow, you're just taking out for
this is us trying out because I had never done it before, and it was so easy. Literally, the only seasonings I used was Old Bay.
Old Bay, right?
That's it. Yeah, and everything turned out excellent. So
nice.
We had the paper that you put on the table. You just dump it all out on the table and just dive in.
You boil it outside or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rochelle bought a special. You can use a turkey fryer. Essentially, you don't fry it, but you boil it. But you can use that canister. Rochelle bought one, Steve, that they could feed the John C. Stennis aircraft carrier with. It's huge.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing. It is enormous,
massive, and when we got it, we're like, this is too big, and they didn't accept returns, so we're stuck with it.
Oh, okay.
So whatever, but it's great.
Well, in case a whale washes up again, you'll have
unfortunately, after the broadcast, I had to bolt out of there pretty quickly. So I drove back up to PA. I have never experienced a quicker drive home from the shore than I did on Friday. Wow. And Preston, you were sharing a little bit yesterday about what it was like yesterday. But my drive home on Friday, super easy.
So we came back on Sunday because my youngest had a musical that we wanted to go see. So Rochelle was checking yesterday like the Wildwood Crest message boards and so on about what was going on as far as traffic back. And she said she read one where somebody who normally had a 90-minute commute, it took them almost 5 hours.
Yeah.
To get down there or to get home?
To get home.
Oh, geez.
I assume they came across like an accident or something like that really gummed it up. But I was so happy I didn't get caught up in that mess.
I've done the drive home on Tuesday mornings. Like if I stay down the beach sometimes, and if we're already getting up at ass crack of dawn anyway, so coming back up on Tuesday morning isn't that bad. But yeah, yesterday looked like it was pretty rough getting out of the beach.
I looked at it. I was watching my Waze all day long.
Okay.
All right. So
what's the optimal time to leave?
Well, so I ended up leaving at 8 o'clock last night, or 8:15 last night. It only took me 2 hours to get home, which is the norm.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. But I was watching. It was like 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. And it was 3 hours for most of the day. And then as we got into the evening, I'm like, okay, it's clearing up a little bit. Because I thought about it. I thought about getting up early this morning, but.
I made really good time coming back because for me, when I come back, if I don't like the drowsy part of the drive setting in, because then you got to pull over and get a coffee and wait until you.
I don't know how you do like Cardboard Classic, that's because you hang out afterwards.
I do, and make it back. That's actually for some reason not as taxing. Yeah, for some, I don't know what it is, but I find the drive, but I made. Nick, I made really good time. And then you start to see that Bataan Death March happening on the other side.
Dude, in the opposite direction. People coming down. It was, and I, Waze, Casey took me at the back way. So it was, 47, 347 heading back up or whatever. And to getting off of 55, the end of 55, all the way through 347 and 47 was completely backed up. It was a long line of cars getting in.
I believe it.
Well, hopefully you didn't get stuck in that stuff. But listen, we are happy if you made it a part of your summer. For the kicking off of our Jersey Shore, the opening of the Jersey Shore. And now you can participate in the Jersey Shore 64. So it is a bracket style full of Jersey Shore favorites. You get to vote for them and are going to let us know who the winner is. And at the end of it all, Pierre Robert is going to be doing a live broadcast from whatever place it happens to be.
Yeah, this is very cool. And again, for me, I'm going to be very excited to find out places that I should check out.
Jersey Shore 64, by the way, is powered by DHY Motorsports. So it's going to end on July 10th, Casey, around that time?
Yeah, we're going to live at this for a little while.
All right, excellent.
I love that.
All right, well, we need to take a break and come back in a moment. Some bizarre file stories that I have collected for you. What is this? Oh.
I feel like I'm down the Jersey Shore right now.
All right, so we'll come back in a moment with some B-file stories. Later on this morning, Vigo Mortensen and Caitlin Olson separately will be joining us. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Lindsay, we haven't talked about her in a while.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan is on the verge of turning 30.
30. Dirty 30, right?
Yep. Can you imagine waking up, no makeup, it's kind of actually smeared makeup, hair all kind of crazy. Ha!
Where are my cigarettes?
But she's reflecting back on her past mistakes as well as looking ahead to the future. She discusses her ambitions and failures in a new interview with Vanity Fair. Now, she says of her...
Life is like a chicken finger. Chicken in the center, surrounded by finger.
Life is like that?
Yeah, exactly.
How is life like that?
Exactly like
it. She says...
Point taken.
Of her checkered past, I wouldn't call things regrets per se. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would have listened more to my mother and gone back home to New York earlier in life and chosen my friends more wisely.
Regrets? Well, I've had a few, but still too few to mention.
Lindsay also, but you did it your way.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
To me, life, if I may, was like a huge chicken finger.
All right, Lindsay also looks ahead to her
with multiple dipping sauces.
To her milestone birthday on July 2nd, saying, age is only a number, right?
No.
No? I have learned a lot over time. I'm in a wonderful place in life and look forward to the near and far future and projects that I'm working on.
Something's going on with Lindsay's face these days. It looks as if she's perpetually smelling poop.
That's the way I feel. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but about Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. Her nostrils are always kind of flared, and the corners of her lips are kind of up a little bit, like
who
defecated?
Someone. Everyone, check your trousers.
Eyes open wide, nostrils flared. All right. Anyhow,
the distinct odor of fecal matter.
She said that I'm grateful that I have a voice, which I can now feel comfortable using as a platform to let people know that we all have our ups and downs in life.
Check your trousers.
And we can all come up from the downs if we get in touch with our inner self and spiritual side.
Hey, I'm happy if she's turned it around. She's got that Russian boyfriend, right? The multimillionaire boyfriend?
Yeah, Igor Tarabazov. That's what? Stravinsky.
This is my woman.
She
loves chicken fingers.
She also says of her future plans of making more films, writing my books, starting my charity, working with children a lot, maybe having some of my own soon after I get some movies done first. She seems to be course corrected and getting her life together. I don't know what that means as far as her career goes, though.
I don't think it's going to be where it could have been, but maybe that's the best thing for her. Maybe getting back into that lifestyle would be detrimental.
Yeah. She could pull a Robert Downey Jr.
She could play Iron Man.
I don't know if she could play Iron Man, but
I can't fit chicken fingers to this opening. There's an 800-pound gorilla in the room. How do I get chicken fingers through this thing?
Tell Jarvis to open the hatch. And it will. And
You're a disaster.
The face mask will actually.
Jarvis closes and places those chicken fingers.
Will open, and then you can eat your chicken fingers.
There's a Popeyes on Route 1. Maybe a little underdone. Let me kick him up a little bit. Just like I like him.
Are you heating them up?
Let me get that for you. They're a little cold. Just like I like them.
No, what I'm saying is she might be able to turn her acting career around. She's not as talented as Robert. Even when Robert Downey Jr. was younger, even in those like Weird Science and and back to school, stuff like that. You could tell he had acting chops. So.
It's hard for her, though, because the party lifestyle left a mark on her appearance. And, it's harder for women in general. And then when they mess up their appearance like she has over the last, 10 years or so, it's going to be an interesting thing to see where she goes next.
Nick, I clearly remember we did it. We did a Dirty Old Man screening of Mean Girls.
Yep.
Well, as we called it, we had us, a whole bunch of guys.
We called it the Dirty Old Man Matinee. And we went to a matinee showing of we took a bunch of guys to a matinee showing of
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. When she turned 18. Oh, my God.
How pathetic.
Hey, Lindsay, can you warm up this burrito for me here?
No problem. Stand back. John, just hit it.
Hikaru Sulu.
Yes.
Is revealed to be gay in the upcoming Star Trek Beyond movie. Sulu never had any romantic partners on the original series, but it was eventually revealed that he did have a daughter who was a character in the 1994 movie Star Trek Generations.
And Spock's going to be a plushie, Preston.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you need to do something to that guy.
I find it very comforting around my testicles to feel the soft, stuffed quality.
It is a logical sensation.
Yes. It arouses me in a very primal way. The Ponfar is kicked in. I must return to my home planet and bang a teddy bear.
They should give everyone something. Everyone should have something, right?
I agree. I mean, after
Dr.
all,
McCoy's into hot Carls.
I mean, Kirk's a total perv. He'll bang anything.
Listen, after all,
Kirk is crawling with disease.
The show itself was meant to show diversity in the future.
Gene Roddenberry's saying infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Yeah, all across. And then eventually when it got to the next generation, it got outside of the United States. It got, diversity in different alien species and so forth with, Worf on the deck and so forth.
What you dip your wick in, as they say.
God, what would Worf do? What would his perversion
Oh, this is going to be good. Here, put the saran wrap over your face.
He's the hot Carl fanatic. God, imagine what would come out of that.
Klingon hot Carl?
Oh, my God.
Forget it.
It'd be corrosive.
Oh, my God. It'd be like
burn through your skin.
Like the blood in Alien.
A hot Worf.
Yeah, a hot Worf.
By the way, I think I can safely say that the words Klingon hot Carl have never been said by anyone in humanity before.
I'm sorry. It melted your face. Captain, may I speak with you for a second? What is it, Wolf? I just did a Klingon sexual act and melted my partner's face. How many times have I warned you about the hot Carl?
Hot Worf.
It was not meant for your species.
Oh, my God.
There is no saran wrap that contain my fecal matter. Woo! But in the long run, though, I think this is it's a great way to pay tribute to
George Takei.
George Takei, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's the first LGBT character to be introduced to the franchise in the 50 years that it has been around.
Mr. Wolf, you must stop doing that. You almost breached the outer hull of the ship. We were able to freeze your fecal matter before it hit the retaining wall.
Set shields to maximum. Oh, my God.
Can't contain it, sir. It's another hot cattle. Of course, I'm mixing crews here.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. Oh. You can't contain it.
Can't contain it, Captain. That crazy Klingon.
The final frontier.
That's his poopy sex.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so I guess that's revealed in the next movie that Sulu is gay.
And I think it's just, as he said, it's casually mentioned in passing.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not like, they're 69ing,
Yeah. I think I've decided something.
Well, what did you? Wait, are you the decider?
No. I'm the noticer.
Okay.
But I have decided that when I am the noticer,
Oh, you're going to do something?
You're going to put a fake beard on?
I'm going to put on
Nice. All right.
hero
That's going to get old real quick.
noticer mask.
Oh, kind of like the noticer?
Preston Elliott, in the dark of night, he seeks out stories to entertain you. He is the noticer.
I had this superhero mask, and it's sat on my desk for years, and I'm like, I wish I could do something with that.
He wished he could do something with it.
So I'm now wearing the superhero mask when I am the noticer.
Known to a select few as the noticer.
Yeah, this will get old, right?
It's
Kate?
going to get old for you, not for me.
It's already old.
Well, I noticed that the Mega Millions jackpot for today has ballooned up to $540 million.
Where does that put that in comparison to the biggest of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That $1.1 billion Powerball lottery, there's a still. I can't look at you.
I'm sorry, I have this mask on my face right now.
Preston Elliott.
I'll take it off in a minute.
Nick can't look at him, but we can.
There were 3 winners, 3 tickets won. One is yet to be claimed. If Preston has a mask on, Casey probably should have one on too.
It's not that hard to push a button.
Casey Boy Wonder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can I put some saran wrap on my face and have
And no salt crap on your face. It'll do you give you a hot wharf.
A steaming
Steaming Klingon?
steaming Klingon.
I just gave Casey a steaming Klingon.
I'm sure if I'm wearing a mask, then Nick should take his shirt off.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Well, and if Nick's taking his shirt off, I should probably take mine
Done.
off.
Oh, Marissa found some saran wrap.
It's a loop.
Dude, are you serious?
It's for the bit.
All right.
Preston Elliott noticed some other things. He's still wearing his mask.
I am still wearing my mask. You know what? I'm going to have an imprint of this mask on my face when I'm done, probably.
So people are going to know who you really are.
Damn it.
We have found out who Batman is. Mr. Wayne, would you step forward? So he's got the line around his...
Yeah. How'd you know?
What?
He does have eye makeup on too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yes. How do you get that off so quickly? And
They're appliques.
and how do you put it on? But he does have
What do you mean?
What? He's got to see the lines.
the circles around his eyes like the trick binoculars.
And his hair's all molded
What?
into the pointed bat ears. That. Come here, look in the mirror. Oh, damn it.
For a while, believe it or not, there was octopus wrestling.
Really?
And you can look that up if you want to.
Who did
Or
that?
octopus fighting. I'm sorry.
Oh, so an octopus would face off against an octopus. It wouldn't be an octopus
No. A
facing off
person.
against 8 people?
No, one person.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was a thing back in like the 1940s or something
Wow.
like that. Nick, do me a favor. Look it
Now
up.
it's time for an octopus fight. Say, this fellow looks rather spry. Do you care to face the octopus?
I wonder if there's
I
anything.
squirted ink in his face. That's dirty pool.
Nick is looking up. I don't see it. What are you looking at? The lion?
The lion and the anaconda. I didn't know that was a fight that was possible.
There are you can find animal fights, like in the wild.
To be honest, I never much liked anacondas anyway. But I guess if lions and anacondas can get along, maybe we all can.
Can you click on that lion anaconda? I want to see that.
That one looked fake.
I was going to watch
You think it's fake?
Doc Ock versus Spider-Man.
No.
Nick is.
There was a series for a while, Preston, you remember, where they had imaginary battles.
Yeah.
So who would win between a fight between a polar bear
And a crocodile.
And a crocodile, right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, this is 4.5 minutes long.
Or what would win, I should say.
Yeah, we don't have time to watch all this. So now we're watching a lion attack a giraffe. Or actually, the giraffe is attacking the lion.
Yeah.
Lion, giraffe
Kicking its ass, too.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
Trampling this thing.
I know that you never thought that a giraffe could beat a lion. But I guess I never much thought that, too.
I never much thought that, too. Now we're watching a cobra versus a mongoose. Those are known adversaries. They would have fights. You put two of those in a
Ricky Tikki Tavi, right?
cage.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, meerkat versus hoot owl.
snake versus crocodile.
All right, let's go.
Casey's all about this. Man. Yeah.
I think it's snake.
The snake will win the fight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Looks like the
crocodile won it. I don't know.
I've seen alligator versus an eel.
Do they tap out?
The snake doesn't have any.
snake. Safe word to sofa.
All right, jaguar versus crocodile. All right, let's see.
You going to give a play-by-play?
Jag doesn't have a chance. He doesn't even know that the crocodile's in the water.
Looks like he's dragging it out, Casey.
Looks like he's dragging it out, though.
The U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an opinion which found in part that sharing passwords is a crime prosecutable under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. And the decision, according to a dissenting opinion on the case, makes millions of people who share passwords for services like Netflix and HBO Go into unwitting federal criminals. Get into the Bizarre File stories.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Sequoia Outback. You can shop the Memorial Day sale and get inspired as you cruise through 3 floors of decking, pavers, outdoor furniture, umbrellas, and fire pits. Route 309 in Hatfield. So, Los Angeles news outlets report a man blew himself and his Toyota 4Runner up after lighting a cigarette while carrying propane canisters inside the vehicle.
Come on!
The incident happened in the parking lot of a Van Nuys grocery store. Authorities arrived on the scene and found the 4Runner completely destroyed.
How are you, sir?
With debris all over the parking lot. Looked like it had been taken out by a missile strike, according to people who live in the area.
How many fingers am I holding up?
They said the explosion was so loud that it could be heard blocks away in all directions. A man who lives around the corner from the parking lot said it was like an earthquake rattling the windows. He said, but it was gone as soon as it started. He added that he looked out his window and saw his neighbors standing outside their home and looking around after the loud boom. What's amazing is that the man inside the 4Runner survived the explosion.
He later said,
when authorities arrived, he explained to them that he was lighting a cigarette when the SUV exploded. Authorities say that the man had been living in the 4Runner and was carrying around a small propane canister, which he had a few of them, which were found in the vehicle debris. And the man was taken to a local hospital and treated for minor injuries.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and despite the scale and size of the explosion, no other vehicles in the parking lot were damaged from it.
Ruined my shirt.
Over the weekend, my friends were telling me a story about a family member of theirs who was looking into the gas tank, and he was using a lighter to look in to see... I don't know what he was looking for, to see how much fuel there was in there, and it ignited, and it blew up in his face. And he now has, from there on, he has the nickname Torch.
Lasting damage?
Oh, man.
Not that I know of.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen to this story. A man described by police as a serial slingshot shooter was arrested after an investigation revealed he had been shooting people for nearly a decade.
Nearly a decade, like with a wrist rocket?
I don't know. It was a slingshot. According to a social media post from the Azusa Police Department, officers with their direct enforcement unit learned of a quality of life issue occurring. They conducted a lengthy investigation and learned that during the course of 9 to 10 years, dozens of citizens were being victimized by a serial slingshot shooter. The Instagram post from the department said the unknown suspect broke windows, windshields, and almost struck people with ball bearings. Upon obtaining a search warrant for a home where the incidents were taking place, authorities arrested Prince King of Azusa.
Prince King of Azusa?
Yeah. During the search, ball bearings and a slingshot were recovered from King's residence. Inmate records indicate that King, who is 81, by the way.
81-year-old with a slingshot.
Was charged with a felony as being held at Men's Central Jail on no bail.
So he started when he was 71.
Yeah, several people were quick to comment on the police department's post claiming that King had shot their dog with ball bearings in the past and that he seemed to mainly to run off unwanted squatters, but he was shooting people regularly.
It's crazy.
With his slingshot.
When I was a kid, I loved I think Whammo made them, wrist rockets.
Yep.
Great slingshot.
Good fun. A Louisiana fisherman was arrested for cheating in a bass fishing contest by using weights to boost his score.
This is like the fourth story with using the weights to weigh down the fish and win these contests. Apparently, the prize money can be big.
The Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries Enforcement said officers arrested Aaron Moreau for
We found an anvil in this bass.
For fishing contest fraud. Authorities said that they were contacted by the Big Bass Splash Tournament directors over one of the anglers placing lead weights in a fish he caught and used for weigh-in. Moreau is believed to have placed, listen to this, 2.59 pounds of lead weights in a fish that he used for weigh-in and then left the scene. After an arrest warrant was issued, Moreau turned himself into authorities. If convicted, he faces up to $3,000 and a fine of a year in jail. Cheating, of course, in fishing contests is not unheard of. Last year, 2 men who admitted stuffing fish with lead weights and fish fillets in an attempt to win thousands of dollars in an Ohio fishing tournament were sentenced to 10-day jail terms and other penalties, including the forfeiture of a boat valued at $100,000.
You'd have to imagine this is standard protocol to check the fish for weights, right?
I don't know.
Or is this something that they're so lax with that you can still pull this off?
Not really sure. Speaking of fish, in Nebraska, a man was arrested Friday after a fishy situation at a DMV building in Lincoln. Joseph Schrader walked into the new DMV building, and police said Schrader started throwing fish and carrots inside of the DMV.
Yay!
Which officially opened. Instead of confetti.
Yeah, fish for everyone. He's the Rib Taylor of fish.
The DMV had just opened a few hours prior. He caused an estimated $9,000 in damage.
Hooray for Hollywood.
The building's carpet and ceiling tiles sustained most of the damage. Schrader was arrested on suspicion of criminal mischief with over $5,000 in damage. So fish and carrots. I don't know why, but he felt
they go so well together.
You got to be careful where you collect at the beach. A California mother was slapped with a fine worth $88,000.
Wow.
After her kids mistakenly collected clams, thinking they were picking up seashells on the beach without a fishing license. Charlotte Russ was on a family trip to Pismo Beach, known as the clam capital of the world, where when she said her kids picked up 72 clams from the clamming hotspot during their getaway.
That's where Bugs Bunny used to go, Pismo Beach.
The Department of Fish and Wildlife confronted the mother of 5 and told her that her kids were collecting the clams without a license and issued a ticket. She later received a fine in the mail, ordering her to pay $88,993.
Ma'am, stop talking about clams.
Before the San Luis Obispo County judge knocked her fine down to $500. She said, it made me really sad and depressed, and it kind of ruined our trip. She said the whole experience taught her children a valuable lesson about wildlife regulations.
You little jerks.
She said they know now at the beach, don't touch anything, but they know now what a clam is compared to what a seashell is now.
I'm thinking of clams.
And I've had to explain that to them.
How... It's so ridiculous. $88,000 down to $500.
Yeah, making light of the harmless mix-up, Russ showed that she got a shellfish tattooed on her arm to remember the situation after she won her case.
My cousin was digging for clams once and had like an entire bag. You need to have the permit and all that kind of stuff. And the police came because they knew what he was doing. He literally took the bag. He had like 300 of them, just handed it to my mom. My mom had no idea. She took it. He goes, hold this. And he walks away. So my mom's standing there with.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Literally left holding the bag.
Holding the bag, yes. And like he came down, he was like, hey, I'm not sure if you guys are, we were in Montauk. He's like, I'm not sure if you guys are from here, but you can't. And my mom is just holding it. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. We had no idea.
Wow.
I didn't know that was a thing until right now.
Yes, you have the clamming bit. Yeah, they're strict on that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you could get an $88,000 fine.
I saw a story I almost included in the bizarre file last week of people in New York that are illegally taking in too many striped bass.
Yes.
And they will try to hide it. And a guy was hiding them in traffic cones.
Okay.
Okay.
What's with the traffic cones? I like traffic cones.
I like bass. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. We're excited this morning to talk to a couple of our guests. Vigo Mortensen will be joining us. Great actor. And Caitlin Olson, fantastic actress as well, will be joining us. And she's, of course, a dear friend of ours. So we're going to talk to those guys in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some other stuff. So stay with us. We will return shortly.
Preston and Steve.
I don't want to go to jail.
Something stupid like that. Like I know people who have who rent like the streaming movies. Whatever's in the theater right now, they can get online. I'm like, I am not doing hard time.
If you're sitting in a cell with a guy who cut somebody's head off, what are you in for? I shared my Netflix. Say that again. I shared my Netflix password. But tell me how you beheaded that family again.
All right, so I'm a little concerned by this news story.
How many federal laws have you violated?
I don't know. Are there any gray areas in this? And I don't quite get what the illegality on sharing passwords is.
All right, here let me. This is the case that supposedly may set the precedent. The decision came in the case of David Nussel, an employee at the executive search or headhunter firm Korn Ferry International. Nussel, Korn Ferry.
And Nozzle.
I'm the Korn Ferry. Your corn will grow tall and yellow. Thank you, Korn Ferry. The Indians refer to it as maize.
If it helps, corn is spelled Korn.
Oh, okay.
And then ferry is Ferry.
Wrong ferry. This is the Corn Ferry.
I only have one TV in my house, but other people use my Netflix account, and they have their own separate channels. But I'm the one that's paying for it. But I'm allowing them to use it in a different place.
No, then you should be okay if you're covered for X amount of screens.
Yeah,
then
I am.
I don't think
then you're fine.
Okay. But the people are sharing it, and
I'd lawyer up.
This is all gonna be admitted as evidence in the trial.
Let me ask you something, Mr. McElwain. On the evening of April 23rd, you seemingly shared your Netflix password with a whole cadre of people.
I object.
I'd like to represent myself.
Khloe Kardashian is denying that she was bullying Chloe Moretz when she tweeted a photo of what she believed to be the 19-year-old star's bare butt over the Kim Kardashian-Taylor Swift drama.
Oh, man. Steve, you blew this one.
I saw this picture, though.
I didn't see it.
And it's, now, apparently there was butthole visible.
No.
That's what I hear because it was blocked out. Chloe Moretz Grace Mellencamp is bent over on the beach, and she's wearing a bikini, and they blocked out the area that would be said butthole.
If you're wearing a bikini, how do you see butthole?
The bikini cinches in, and the butthole pops out.
It's one of my favorite words, by the way.
Butthole.
All
right, take a look at this picture.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
See what I'm saying?
So she's riding piggyback on a guy, and he's reaching around with his hands to grab her, I guess her legs to support her, but he grabbed her suit and pulled it up to the side.
Whoa.
Oh, that sucks.
And it exposes her butthole.
Okay, but why is Khloe Kardashian tweeting this?
Because she's striking back at Chloe Grace Moretz because she chimed in on the Tay Kanye conflict.
Now look at this butthole.
Yeah, look at this chick's butthole.
All right, so the response that Chloe wrote was, "Is this the hole you're talking about, or whatever?"
Okay.
So I want to know what Chloe's Maurice Gretz Mellencamp's.
All right.
What her tweet was.
She initially reacted to the Kim and Taylor war by tweeting, "Everyone in this industry needs to get their heads out of a hole."
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And look around to realize what's actually happening in the real world.
That prompted Chloe to post a picture of her butthole.
I rest my case.
Man.
I'm glad we did that story, though.
The butthole wars, they have begun.
The butthole wars.
Here, I'm going to read this headline to you. Poisonous rattlesnake warning in South Jersey.
No!
Casey hates the idea of rattlesnakes. And where are you spending your summer?
South Jersey.
That's right.
Oh my
So
God.
this, honestly, and we have been for the longest time saying you have nothing to worry about, and apparently we were wrong.
Well, listen, I always thought
that they were like west of the Mississippi, like Colorado, Utah, Nevada, that area. And then, lo and behold, a couple of summers ago, my father-in-law saw one up in the Poconos. And I'm like, what? And I didn't believe him.
Because he lies. He's the one who told you about the flying squirrels.
He's a drinker, and he's a
let me
no
tell
liar.
you something. The place is crawling with unicorns.
Well, he also told me about the flying squirrels up there as well, and I
Now
didn't
that
believe him.
he's accurate.
He's accurate about the rattlesnakes too.
Yeah, the guy is just absolutely tapped into nature. He's Grizzly Adams.
He's a mountain man. He's
a mountain man.
Yeah.
He eats tree bark and lives off deer pee.
If you think one of these snakes is bitten, someone seek medical help immediately.
Oh my God! It says once they bite you, they turn your cell phone off.
Oh no!
Yeah, so you can't call for help.
They're that.
Yeah, they're smart too. Look at snakes getting it on.
We're looking at snakes screwing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey!
Wow, look at that. That actually looks pretty hot. The way they wrap around each other like that.
Romantic.
Look at that.
They provide their own bondage equipment.
That's cozy, actually.
Sorry. I got it all over what I perceive to be your back. I can't. Well, snakes, it's hard to tell.
One more time, I'm sorry. Snake sex on the Preston and Steve show.
I'm going to bang your skin right off you.
They're molting.
The whole thing, yeah.
Romantic.
I banged this chick so hard last night. She totally molted right there.
Can snakes use their own molted skin as condoms?
Oh, I don't know about that. I was thinking more of like a sex doll,
Yeah.
Because when the
Filled
skin
it up with peat moss. It was just like the real thing.
skin comes off whole sometimes, it seems like. Well, we got rattlers. There's a warning in South Jersey. Just to give you guys a head up, officially a warning. They're saying to keep an eye out. It's the mating season, and they're a little bit more prevalent this time around, even though they're endangered. So keep in mind, just listen for the sound of them mating.
And you'll know.
And you
Run.
should know. Exactly. And then finally, Korn will release its 12th album, The Serenity of Suffering, on October 21st via Roadrunner. Grammy Award winner Nick Raskelenik, who has worked with Foo Fighters, Deftones, and Mastodon, is producing it. So they're going in a softer direction. The album. The album is a follow-up to 2013's Paradigm Shift. On the album, Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor makes an appearance on the song "A Different World." Stop it!
The hell?
It's gross.
Good Lord.
That reminds me of something. I can't.
Tasmanian
think of what
Devil?
it is. No, but I mean,
Slayer.
Do it again. All right. Okay. Nimnut.
Nimnut.
Nimnut. Is that what he's saying?
You not.
Yimnut.
It's such a weird sound coming out of a human.
All right.
Did Mel Blanc do Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin fell in love off screen as their Once Upon a Time characters fell in love on screen.
I can't say I wouldn't fall in love with someone named Josh Dallas.
He told reporters at Comic-Con, magical. On and off screen, it was magical.
Magic.
I can remember now when we were shooting the pilot.
I'm going to cry.
We were shooting that scene where he rides up on the horse and she's asleep in the coffin, and she's surrounded by
She's beautiful. Oh my God, she's a vision.
So she's asleep in the coffin.
Oh my God.
And she's surrounded.
She's a vision.
She's surrounded by the forest.
The chirp of a bird.
And listen, and he says, and she's, for all he knows, she's dead. And he goes to kiss her, and she went, "That's disgusting."
Yeah. Sure.
He thinks she's dead.
Oh, well, if you saw the scene, he's actually taking his pants off.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm alive. Oh, I knew that. It's just adjusting my. What were you about to do? Nothing. I had to pee.
You were gonna pee on her?
No. I was gonna go behind the tree. You were gonna bang a corpse. I was not. That would have changed the whole tone and tenor of the show if it turned out he was a necrophile.
Oh, my God.
He would be less charming, I would say that.
Yeah.
You know, charming in his thing. No, what? He'll dead people. No. Yeah. That's how he met Snow. Thought she was dead.
And then after that, she wakes up, and now he's committed.
He's stuck with her.
And he's stuck with her.
And on and on and on.
He just wanted to, do his business and move on his way because he's a necrophiliac.
Right. And it's horrible because there's so many times you can have a hummingbird land on your shoulder.
My mom last week had a hip replacement surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm over her house the other day, and so she can't, after having a hip replacement, she has to sleep on her back. So
Sure.
she has a hard time with that. So she decided to sleep on the recliner downstairs because she can't sleep in her bed on her back. So the problem is she weighs 10 pounds, Steve.
She does. She's a tiny woman.
She's a tiny little thing. And so she can't, she doesn't weigh enough to weigh the recliner down, right?
She can't activate the recliner. She's
she
so
can
small.
put it down, but as the seconds go by, the recliner just lifts up, and she's in a seated position again. So I'm trying to rig the recliner so it stays down, which requires me to get things out of the house. So I need to go at one point into the basement. And I'm 41 years old, Steve, and I opened the basement door, and it's dark down there, and I was like, oh.
Ma, can you come with me?
So,
Mom had just had a hip replacement, has to walk Casey down the stairs into the basement.
So your childhood fears come rushing back.
Oh, Steve, I had chills up and down my arm.
You've now passed on the basement because it's too scary, and you go up to the second scariest room, or perhaps the most scary.
Yeah,
Are you crapping yourself?
Well, not yet. I'm like, oh man, I have to move a couple of things. I open the door, and I look at the top of the stairs, and there's a thing there. I was like, oh man, what is that? So I turn, a
thing!
There was something at the top of the steps.
There's a thing!
All right, so there's something at the top, a figure at the top of the stairs.
You
Steve.
swear that you see a figure. What did this figure look like?
So
a man, a woman?
I do the same thing that I do in the basement. I put my hand on the light switch,
right,
and then I put my face away from the stairwell. Now I'm looking, towards the hallway of the second floor. I turn the light on, right, and then I look at the top of the steps, and sure enough, there's a kid statue there, and I'm like, oh man,
a kid statue.
It's all right. So it's actually cute. It's like a doll that. It's a kid, you're supposed to put it up against the wall where it looks like the kid's crying, like he's having
Come play with me.
He's having a temper tantrum.
Oh, one of those things.
Right.
You've seen those where
he's like this, Preston.
It's like a stuffed. Okay. Right, and it's supposed to look like a kid or playing hide and go seek.
Right.
Okay.
But when I see it, I just get chills all down my arm, and I'm like, oh my God.
And you're sweating.
And I'm sweating, and I still, because I love my mother, I have to go to the third floor and find something.
Face your fears.
So that
we can play together forever and ever and ever.
So I have to go up these steps, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, just don't turn around, right?
the law and speed limits in Pennsylvania. The law.
I'll tell you what.
Specifically in Pennsylvania.
This is a big point of contention for a lot of people about, like, for example, coming back on the AC Expressway, 65.
Yeah.
No one was doing 65.
Oh, dude, on the Garden State Parkway, it's 85 miles an hour.
No one. In fact, if you want to be safely moving with traffic, you got to be 80 and above.
And there were a ton of cops out this holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place.
Okay, not just down the shore towns.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, coming back to and from the shore.
Because there is something, obviously you don't want to be reckless and so on and so forth. We just saw the footage over the weekend of the person driving their car. In fact, a friend of mine had somebody, they were having dinner al fresco in Manayunk over the weekend, my next door neighbor and his wife, and somebody was driving a more powerful car and it got away from them they rammed into a whole series of cars.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And in fact, one of them was his car. So
I find myself more and more these days putting my car in cruise control because there are a couple of stretches of road where cops will hang out, and there one is stretch of road in particular where the speed limit is 35. I personally think that the speed limit needs to be at least 45 in this stretch of road, but it's 35, and the cops hang out there, and I'm like, I don't even feel like messing with this anymore.
Maybe this can help illuminate us on what we can, what we're legally.
So it says that the law actually gives drivers a small cushion around maximum speed limits in Pennsylvania.
Well, the better the pushing.
That cushion allows drivers to go 5 miles an hour above the speed limit. However, between 6 and 10 miles per hour, drivers do risk being pulled over as they are in, quote, excess of the legal speed.
So I've always thought that 10 miles an hour over the speed limit would be
about right.
Your buffer.
Yeah.
I always heard there's automatically the 5 mile an hour buffer.
Okay.
And then depending on the cops, it goes 10 to 12.
Sure.
Okay.
I also
so arbitrarily, depending on the cop.
Right. But then the other thing that I heard, Preston, and I don't know if there's any indication in this report or not, but like once you get over 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, that's when the points start kicking in.
That I don't know. I don't know about
I'd be curious about that. How they reckon the points.
It used to be 10 to 15 in Pennsylvania.
So technically, they if it's the speed limit is 65 miles per hour, they can't pull you over at 70.
Disagree. I think, Kathy, they can have the legal right to pull you over. Ticketing you for that might be you probably have a better case at fighting that ticket if they do issue it to you. But if they want to use that as an opportunity to pull you over, I assume that they can.
Preston, I was once pulled over going 67 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. I've told the story before.
Lord.
I was with a stand-up comedian. We had rental plates. It was in Nebraska.
Okay,
but he was within his rights to pull us over for exceeding the speed limit.
But I had heard. So I have a friend who she used to be a police officer, and her threshold was 6 miles per hour. And I always keep that in the back of my mind. So with that 35. I will set my cruise control to 39, maybe 41, but I try and stay between that 5 to 10 mile or 5 mile per hour over the speed limit.
So this is interesting. This article states the lower the speed limit goes, though, you can have a larger cushion. According to Pennsylvania code, in an area where the legal speed limit is less than 55 miles per hour, drivers can go over the speed limit by 9 miles per hour.
When it's less, so if it's 30 miles an hour and you're going,
you can go 39.
39. So basically 40.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I wouldn't do. If there's a cop behind me, I'm not doing 40.
No. So example, out here on Presidential.
That's 90 miles an hour.
Well, no, but down by with they're tearing apart all those buildings. What is that, St. Asaph at that point? I don't know how they figured it out. But anyway, it says 25 miles an hour strictly enforced.
Yeah.
And I've seen them pull over people doing 30.
Yeah, when they say strictly enforced, they mean that down the shore. And there is a stretch of road down.
So the 5 miles goes away then?
They'll nail your ass for they're saying strictly.
I'm speaking about Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
This article is about Pennsylvania. I don't know what New Jersey's.
But in New Jersey, and most of it is 25 miles per hour. But when you're driving this one stretch of road right past the bay in Wildwood Crest, it goes down to 20.
Yeah.
Get out.
And there you go, stand on it.
I'm going to put my car in cruise control because I'm like, I don't want to futz with this. This is where a lot of pedestrians are. And what ended up happening was I didn't realize that the threshold for my cruise control has to be at least 20 miles. I have to already be going at least 20 miles per hour to engage it. And I was at 19. And I'm futzing, and next thing I know, cop lights go on behind me. And I'm like, oh my God.
Pull over. You were futzing.
But I wasn't even going the speed limit.
No futzing zone.
We got a futzer here.
He was futzing 3 times.
A futz check on you.
The long story short is he was going around me to go pull somebody else over, but I didn't know that.
What are you in for? Futzing.
I was futzing. I got busted
May is one
futzing.
fine month for futzing.
Hang on, I want to go to Barry, who's a police officer and can clarify some of this stuff. Hi, Barry. Morning, sir.
Hi, Grandmom.
Hi, Grandmom. All right, so what do you want to clear up for us?
Let me start off with this. Everyone in New Jersey are crumb creeps, all right?
Crumb creeps.
And lushes, too.
And lushes.
Yeah.
They're no good, I'll tell you that. So, in reality, 1 mile over the speed limit is breaking the law.
Yeah.
A cop can technically pull you over for 1 mile.
Right.
What I teach young cops is use your judgment, right? Do you go 5 miles over the speed limit? Yes, because if you don't, then you're probably a nun or a priest or something of those terms.
Right, yeah.
So, like, are you going to pull somebody over 5 miles over the speed limit? Like, no, because you do it yourself, and then you'd be a hypocrite.
But Barry, what is this? What is this 5 mile an hour supposed law that's in place?
I have never heard of something like this. However, what I think is, so when you cite someone from 1 mile over to 5 miles over, there are no points associated with that fine. It's just a monetary fine.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe it has to do with the
All
points.
way up. Yeah, once you go from 5 all the way up to 35 over, that's when points start accruing from 3 to 5 points.
So okay, so that now I got that. So I think also, Barry, a lot of this has to do with the actual road that you're on itself. Like for example, Lincoln Drive has 25 miles an hour for a large portion of that.
Oh, man, that's laughable.
Yeah, 25 miles. Yeah, it is hilarious.
Because people do a minimum of 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Preston, and it's on the pavement itself, 25 miles an hour.
Yep.
When I'm coming in the morning, on average, everyone's doing about 35, 40, and then in the straightaways, it'll kick up a little bit more. But I think because of each road's complexion, maybe a police officer might be more inclined to ticket an individual on a road that might be more dangerous at higher velocities. I rest my case, Barry.
Yeah, no, not guilty for you. Absolutely. But like I tell young cops, it's not safe for people to go 20 miles an hour or whatever. What's the speed limit on the boulevard? It's 40 on places that don't have cameras.
Right.
Like they need to travel at a safe speed with the flow of traffic. If that's 10, 15 miles over the speed limit, then so be it. It's the safe speed at on the road.
Okay.
I think cops. I hope cops use more common sense than just what the letter of the law allows.
I think they do.
I think they do for the most part. I'll tell you. Let me ask you though. Have you ever talking about the flow of traffic? So if the flow of traffic is going excessively fast and it's over the speed limit, can you pick randomly one of the drivers in that pack and pull them over for speeding?
Yeah, if it's excessive, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep, you can.
All right.
And you get that when you're talking to a driver that you're pulling them over, right? One of the first things they say is, well, they're all going, 25 over as well. I'm like, sir, I understand that. However, I'm only one person, and you were the last car in that pack.
Yeah.
But you're a little bit more lenient. Like, okay, all right. Like, yeah, everybody else is doing it. So maybe if I pull you over and I make a show of it, not give you a ticket, but my presence is made out on that road, maybe that will slow other cars down.
All right. I understand the idea. All right. That makes sense.
All right. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate it, man.
You got it.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right. We have a New Jersey police officer.
Here we go.
Who's online. Tell us about things in that state. So we'll go to Ed next. Ed, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey. So New Jersey, anything different that we've been talking about?
So kind of on the opposite side of things, you guys are talking about going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
But I actually used to pull people over for going a little too slow.
Yes.
Thank you. It drives me nuts, Ed, when I see someone going excessively slow in the left lane, like in New Jersey specifically, where there are signs all over the place that the left lane is the passing lane. And so how? But are you the anomaly? Because I don't see it happening a lot.
Well, so I used to be a cop around the shore, and big tourist area, very crowded, stuff like that. And people don't realize, they think they're being safe by not going the speed limit. But if you're not keeping up with traffic, even in the right lane, you're technically blocking traffic. And people that are going the speed limit, if they're coming up, they have to react, because if the speed limit's 45, if the speed limit's 45 and the flow of traffic, they're doing, 45, 50, 55, and you're going 25.
Yeah.
They got to react and slam on their brakes.
Yeah, to me, that's always an accident waiting to happen. And I think it should be treated as dangerously as excessive speeding.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, again, judgment comes into play, like the other gentleman was saying, for sure. But people don't, in New Jersey specifically, that's 2 points on your license.
2 points if you're traveling under the speed limit.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I knew it was a ticketable offense, but I didn't know it was a points generating offense.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. And I think it's around like a $90 fine, too.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Gotcha. All right. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it, man.
Do you ever get points on your license, Preston?
Oh, yeah.
I know you've had. Yeah, you've.
Yeah, I had a thing. I don't think it's on the books anymore, but it was called careless and imprudent driving.
Okay.
And I heard somebody say, "Oh, you got a CNI, huh?" I was like, "Oh, so it's known as a CNI."
And a see you next Tuesday.
I was driving like a jerk. I deserved
right.
And it checked me. I was still a teenager at the time, and I was just weaving in and out of traffic, cutting people off, doing all this stuff. I was hauling ass. I was running late for something. But I was driving like a jerk. Yeah. And afterwards, and I don't remember how many points it was, but it was, it was like just under DUI level. Boy. And so
how long to clear that off your license?
The cop was like, he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like he told me that. He's like, "What are you doing? You know what you were doing?" And I was like, I hadn't even realized that I was driving that big of a jerk, and it was a reality check for me.
Yeah.
So I reeled it back after that.
This was in Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had it happen here in Pennsylvania, and Steve, I was going way too fast. Also a teenager. I was not yet 18, and I got 4 points on my license.
4.
Which is a lot. And
what is the max before? Is
6.
6? Okay.
And then your license is suspended. But they offered the option of taking a class. And if you took the class, that would automatically reduce the points. So you had to take 30
French.
days. I took French. And then I ended up, and then a minor in college. Right. So, they give you the option.
How long was it like one class or a couple?
No, it was like 30 days or whatever. But, it's relatively easy, relatively simple. But you go in, you take the class, and then the points are reduced.
All right.
So Nick pulled this up. It says, Guide to Pennsylvania Point System, Understanding Penalties. And I don't know how fully true this is, but it says, speeding can get you 10 points if 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. 3 points and a 15-day license suspension if 11 to 15 miles over. You can get 4 points and a 15-day license suspension if you're 16 to 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. Think about how often you go 15 miles an hour over the speed limit. And 5 points and a 15-day license suspension for 26 to 30 miles per hour over the limit. I don't know at what point how many points you get where you there and get a suspended license. I'm not sure.
At the 6 point, so you get 6 points.
Yeah, it's 6.
You're pulled over. The points are not. Are they immediately administered?
Yeah, you don't. There's nothing you get 6 points for. Listen.
In other words, you've accrued.
You accrue them, and same thing with Nick. I accrued that many points. I was probably about 21 years old, and I had to go take a test.
And you're okay. So but for your license to be taken away, you have the option to go take the test, take the course, and then you won't get your license taken away.
I wasn't offered a course. It was just a straight up. Basically, I had to take my permit test all over
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it says here, first accumulation of 6 points. The driver will receive a written notice and take a special written point examination or attend a driver improvement school. But then it says second subsequent accumulation of 6 points. The driver, it says, will have to attend a department hearing and driver improvement school. The driver will receive a written notice and have to attend hearing and driver improvement school. Then of 11 points or more, that's automatic suspension.
Automatic suspension.
Yeah. And the length of the suspension depends on how many times the license was suspended in the past.
What about a license revocation?
That I don't know. It doesn't say revocation on here.
But higher up, Preston, when it's the second accumulation of 6 points, the driving privilege is suspended for 15 days.
Okay. So, all right.
So the second time you get the 6 points, you're going to get an automatic suspension for 15 days.
Wow. Yeah, it's so funny, man, because you talk about revocation. There's so many times you hear about somebody got their 12th DUI,
Yes.
and you're like,
how are you still
your
driving?
license wasn't taken away permanently
Right.
because of that?
Yeah, there was some dude from Prospect Park who just got his 10th or 12th DUI. I'm like, come on.
They will sometimes ask you one special question. They will ask you what driving is about, and the answer is family.
Yeah.
Family.
And if you
answer
don't
that
know
right,
that,
Okay.
It's about family.
Let me go to Jen. It's got a call. Hi, Jen. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Long-time listener. Yes, you're talking about getting nailed for speeding. Well, I got pulled over on 95, and the cop let me go simply because of the car I was driving. It was a rental car,
Okay.
and it was a Daewoo.
Wow.
So what was the determining factor that made him let you go with simply driving a Daewoo?
He felt so sorry.
That's a Korean car, right?
Yes.
Daewoo.
We had one at Y100 for a while.
Yeah, they
remember.
were advertised, I think, for a
I
while.
believe they're out of business, but he pulled me over, and I just put my head on the steering wheel saying, I knew this was going to happen. And the steering wheel was locked, so I couldn't get in a good position. So he comes over, and I'm like, I roll down the window. I knew this was going to happen. I got stuck with this damn car, and I knew this was going to happen. He's like, calm down, calm down. I said, I can't even work the steering wheel. So he leans in, half his body's in the car. He's trying with all his might to change the position of the steering wheel for me. And he's like, lady, just go. Just go.
I love that story. Yeah.
Oh, that's
You deserve it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my
I
God.
got off.
I love that story. Thank you. We appreciate it. Wow. Okay. So, listen, bottom line is you just drive within reason, and you won't have any
Or drive a
issues.
Daewoo.
Or drive a Daewoo,
Yeah, if you
and
can
you will
find
get out
one. Yeah,
immediately. I would go to these other calls, but we do have to take a break because we have a list of people who are going to be joining us interview-wise, and we need to stay on time for them because we got to squeeze everybody in.
Yes.
Make sure it happens. But be careful on the roads, obviously, and they're keeping an eye out on you, so they should. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. We're going to have the Phillies bat boy, Adam, joining us. We have Vigo Mortensen on the show and Caitlin Olson all in this next segment. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
At you. I'm 41 years old, by the way. Don't turn around, right? So I go up to the top of the steps, and there are no lights on the third floor. So I have the one light in the stairwell. I'm like chills the whole time. And then the demon room was there, and it's all dark. And like
Were you embarrassed?
No, I was by myself. I'm embarrassed telling you guys now because I'm 41 years old.
Right.
And I'm
You got
afraid
it.
of
You're 41,
ghosts.
yeah.
Everyone in Philadelphia is listening.
And so I had tunnel vision the whole time I was up.
By the way, not to make this story any longer, if you too are afraid of something in your house, feel free to call in and share your stories. 215-263-WMMR because it's taking a long time. Go ahead.
No. The story's over. I got what I needed.
Oh, we ended.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
I got what I needed, but the fear did not leave me. The chills did not leave my arm until I came all the way downstairs and got to where my sister was there too. Got to
Why didn't your sister go up?
I don't know. Because I'm the man of the
You're the
house.
man of the
I was the man of the-
clearly. Let me go have the heart attack.
man of the house.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna crap myself. I'm gonna go get the ladies, please.
Wow.
I think there's a porn star named Huge Ackman.
Do we think?
Yeah,
or,
I think there is. I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
You do what you were doing there.
Huge Ackman.
Or Hugh Jackman.
I like Huge Ackman because there's John E. Depth.
Yeah.
We do know that. John E. Depth.
Huge Ack.
The production manager for Guns N' Roses, the current lineup on the
John E. Depth.
Okay.
What about Wilfred Rimley?
Yeah. Rim.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's a Bill Ackman.
There's a...
If I were a porn star and I were huge, I would be called Huge Ackman.
But what's Ackman?
That's my last name.
His last name.
Huge is what I am.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
You usually want the first name to be the action on the second, right?
No,
Or
you do whatever you want.
All right.
Yeah.
It's your porn star.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay Lohan is reportedly pushing fiancé Igor Tarabasov to get treatment for anger management.
You got to do something. And now.
The news comes just a few days after the blowout fight in London, which ended with police breaking down the door to Lindsay's home and receiving calls from the neighbors. We talked about this the other day.
You've got serious issues.
Now, her rep told Page Six, Lindsay believes Igor has anger management issues and she would like him to go to therapy. They both want to work things out. Other sources claim that Igor has become controlling over Lindsay, explaining he has taken control over her business. He's in charge of her finances and is controlling over her deals, even though he has no experience in Hollywood.
Do you want to know my issue with Igor? He's always hanging out with his buddies, Dracula, Frankenstein, and Wolfman. And they're great. Don't get me wrong, they're great guys. Mm-hmm. But they get into trouble.
Bros before hoes, that's his thing.
Bros before hoes.
Oh, my God.
And then it's like he's off to Transylvania.
Lindsay's rep said that...
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. and no, don't get me wrong. It was a graveyard smash.
Mm-hmm. Lindsay's rep also said...
It cut out in a flash.
I cannot confirm her pregnancy. So
what's the deal?
A little follow-up to that.
We don't have that?
No.
We don't have that? Come on.
We don't have the Monster Man.
Wait a second. Doesn't Ben play anything they feel like?
Can we borrow from them?
Isn't that the rough and tumble philosophy?
I hope they play that today.
Monster Man.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
Chuck.
This is to my personal story.
Yep.
It's not like it's Halloween. I was looking in the lab late one night with my eyes beheld a scary sight.
For my monster from his slab began.
So anyhow.
And suddenly, to my surprise, into the match. Into the monster match.
The monster match.
Igor likes the monster match.
He did the match.
It caught out in the flash.
The match.
He did the monster match. Now everyone's, what's that?
The monster.
Justin, who called in earlier this morning, had a dumpster pool party in Philadelphia.
A smaller dumpster.
And the license and inspections said you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's against the law in Philadelphia. And we work right across the city limits of Philadelphia. So we're like, not unlike the movie Footloose.
Hey, right.
You cross the city limits. It's legal to do it, so we figured we'd have one on our own here this morning. Oh, my God. I just saw a picture of it. That's crazy. One person who might be ready to get in the water. I'm looking at Casey. He's wearing goggles and he has a, what do you call, swim cap on?
A USA skin cap, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready for the dumpster pool Olympics.
A star-spangled swim cap on, ready to go.
There's history to be made today as well. A team of Casey's.
Attempting the world record for laps underwater without taking a breath in a dumpster pool. We will have an official world record that's taking place live on the Preston and Steve Show this
We just
morning.
might see this at the next Olympics, Preston.
Swimmers, take your mark. Go!
Oh, man, started.
He's going down. He's made it to the first end. He's turned around and he's coming back. It's full turn under the water, pushing off the end. Preston, he's back for number two. Turning around back towards number 3. To the back end. He's doing this whole thing underwater.
Wow.
His turns are pretty precise.
Well,
Except for that last one. Come on, he's out.
And he's up. He's up. He did 4.
USA! 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 USA!
Yes, all right. I'm going to try to break Casey's world record for dumpster swimming.
Now, Preston is one of those privileged people who has a pool in his backyard.
I do. My pool is probably twice the size of this length.
It's two dumpsters side by side.
I went in, I did a couple of quick test laps, and it's a little further than I thought it was going to be.
Well, let's see. I can't let you break my world record without me attempting to break your world record.
And we are ready. And we are set. Go. He's underwater.
All right, he's got
suddenly he's become British.
One length, turned around, coming back.
He's back. He's coming back.
Right.
2 lengths, done. Now he's going halfway for his 3rd length.
It's a merman.
Turning around, approaching his 4th length. This is to tie the world record. He has tied the world record.
He's going again.
He's going. Oh, wow. Is he going to shatter the world record? He did 5.
5.
Oh.
5. He shattered.
Day in the
Destroyed
morning.
the world record.
Let's get a word with the champion. Champ, how do you feel? Are you exhausted? Woo! What were you using as your technique?
I feel pretty good. My technique was just all natural technique. Was just glide through the water, Pierre. It looks like somebody's suiting up down there at the end of the platform.
Oh, Casey getting in.
Casey.
There we go.
Graceful entrance.
You should be on the cover of Men's Health. Ready and set. Go. The big man is underwater. Wow, look at all his tattoos. He is moving fast with logicious speed.
What kind of speed?
Logicious.
Logicious speed.
He's on his 3rd lane.
Swimmers know what logicious means.
I was watching the Olympics the other day, and there was a bike race on this.
That's
English.
4.
4. Is each one 1?
5.
Yep.
This is-
All right, so
5.
he's now tied. Preston.
It's a tie, ladies and gentlemen.
2.
Wow.
Let's get a word with the new champ, who's also a tie. How do you feel, Kate?
I'm really tired. That was so hard. I had to. I wanted to quit at 4, but I couldn't.
Winners never quit and quitters never win.
I was like,
There's no I in team.
I almost passed out, but I made it.
You sure the hell did.
Oh, my God. This is a victory. This is a victory not only for Casey and Preston.
All right, let's see if we can get an answer to this stupid question. What type of animal was Dolly, the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell in 1996 when that happened? 215-263 WMMR, and it looks like Mike here was our first caller in, so I'm going to go to him. Good morning, Mike.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, my man. So what type of mammal was it?
A sheep.
A sheep, yes. Dolly the sheep. That's the audio of the cloning process.
It didn't work as well as they had hoped. There were complications.
All right.
Well, good morning.
Run!
Listen, let's give something away here. We have this screening of Mechanic Resurrection. It's a Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
See, Jason Statham in the Mechanic.
Jason Statham.
Resurrection. You remember when he died in the first one, Preston? He comes back as the leader of a religion now. The stone, and I swear to God, Jason Statham is back from the dead. I saw the boulder was moved.
I hate you, Casey. He's just looking at me laughing.
Such a great name.
Jason Statham. My favorite is Kathy, though.
And everyone does it.
Everybody does it.
Everybody.
It goes between Kathy and Casey.
The hybrid.
Kathy. All right, so I have tickets to see The Mechanic Resurrection starring Jason Statham. Steve sent me this story. President Lyndon Baines Johnson would apparently, according to this story, relieve the stress of his job by sleeping with prostitutes.
Let's see if you can't believe me about it.
It's him talking to a hooker.
ends round under my back to my bunghole.
What I need you to do is to do a little thing with your index finger and tickling in the general area of my taint and the back of my bunghole. Hope they're not recording this.
Just very matter of fact.
He's actually, they were world leaders in the Oval Office at the time he made that call. Excuse me, folks, just got to take this call from my hooker.
But one of his prostitutes includes one favorite whom he would introduce as a family friend. Penny, who had a clean-cut look, according to Blanchy, would be spirited away to a series of ranches between Austin and LaGrange. There, she would be introduced as a friend of Johnson's family until the pair could find somewhere more secluded.
Oh, man.
She visited...
The crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight.
He's very specific with his hookers.
Where your nuts hang.
You know where your nuts hang.
Yeah, that's in the crotch area.
You know, in that exact area where the poop comes out. You know what I'm talking about. The sweat kind of congeals around just behind your testes. Jesus. That's the president.
Were you nuts?
And you really can't tell. You said, Jamie, hand down there and take a good snip on your fingers. What's working down there? What do I got? Is this hooker friendly yet, or do I got to run the old pee-pee down under the water a little bit? Clean it up.
Dude, you smell your fingers.
Yeah, you know, so the hooker don't wince when you're on top of her doing a little rodeo, you know? You know what I'm saying. Let me do a quick check. All right, we're good. Call up the Chicken Ranch. Extra crispy.
We're going to have Caitlin Olson joining us in just a few. But now we have a returning guest in the studio. We had a great conversation with him last time. There's a special event that is coming up on Thursday that he would like to have you be a part of. And he just so happens to be the bat boy for the best team in the country, your Phillies. We want to welcome Adam Kenali to our show. Again, what's up, Adam?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Nice to see you. Happy to have you back. So last time you were here, we were talking about the lymphoma, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and you're trying to get donations and votes for Visionary of the Year. And Nick won that a couple of years ago. He's got his award sitting right out here.
Yeah, it's a great fundraiser that LLS puts on every year. Last year, our buddy Greg Murphy from the Phillies won it, and this year, Adam has been nominated. So everything that he does in between now and the finale is about fundraising, and that's what Thursday night is about, right? What do we got going on Thursday?
Yeah. So Thursday night, it's at Toneland Brewing in Barrington. There's two locations. One is in Oakland, one is in Barrington, so I want to preface that. We're having a cornhole night. I think a lot of people like cornhole. It's obviously a tailgating event, and it can bring a lot of people together and have a good time. And essentially, we're selling tickets, which includes playing cornhole, in addition to an auction that we're having, silent auction with a bunch of items. And Bistro Cherry Hill is going to be catering the event, so there's going to be food available as well. And,
at both locations or just one?
Just in the Barrington location.
Just the Barrington. Okay, all right.
And we're we're having it on Thursday, as you mentioned, from 5 to 9:30, and people can go online and buy tickets right now before it sells out.
I'm looking at some of the auction items. We have Bryce Harper autographed ball, Mike Schmidt autographed ball, Kyle Schwarber autographed bat, and a bunch of other things as well. And how about this behind me? We have this cornhole, Phillies cornhole. What do you call it? A board? Or
yeah, I guess I'm just calling it a board. That one's not even actually on there. This is yet another item, as you can see on the post. It says "and more."
This is an and more.
This is an and more, yeah. So basically the idea behind this theme is I like that we have a Phillies skyline in it, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just Phillies themed, but obviously because where I work, it's Phillies themed. But we have broadcasters from the radio station that covers the Phillies in addition to our broadcasting team on TV. And you guys are going to sign this today.
Yeah, privilege. You know, I got to tell you something. Kathy and I were witness to a cornhole tournament. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
There are like leagues and people who are passionate about cornhole. So I think if you're sort of a ringer, go on down to, and participate, because this is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And, I can't stress enough that, every, like we've been saying, every donation counts, every ticket purchase counts. I mean, you get a family together, that's going to be a couple $100 maybe of ticket value. And then, if you want to bid on an auction item, I'm sure some of them are going to go for a good amount of money, and realize that not only are you winning an auction item if you win one, but you're also making a donation within that, because that amount is a full donation towards my campaign in itself.
Which, honestly, you're making a charitable donation that is a tax consideration. You can write off a
That's
bit of
right.
that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a win-win all over the place. So, I like this board a lot, and I think it's coming together really well.
Oh, it's
And
gorgeous.
let's not forget that Adam is a cancer survivor, by the way. You had lymphoma. What type of lymphoma?
Diffuse large B-cell lymphoma of bone.
And that
in my
was
knee.
15 years old when you
Yes,
found out that.
that's correct.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
I know it's been a while, about 10 years now, and I'm very blessed by the opportunities I've been given, and I think even since I've been on here last time, over the past couple of weeks or month or whatever it's been, I mean, there was no even talk of a fundraising event then, and it's really just been conversations with people and coming together and realizing, this can happen, and
that's the beauty of us,
right? You get the balls rolling all over the place. People find out about it, and honestly, I got donations from being on this show last time,
great.
and it means the world to me that we can reach a wider audience, people I don't even know, and they want to make a difference because this affects so many different people in so many different ways.
It does.
So this will be at Tonewood Brewing Thursday in Barrington, and it starts at 5:30, goes till whenever 9ish or something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's 5 to 9:30 is the time.
5 to 9:30.
But
that's it,
I mean, it's all night, and you don't have to be there the whole time. And also, I want to preface, technically, by buying a ticket, you don't have to play cornhole. I know some people don't necessarily want to play. I mean, you can come and just enjoy the food, enjoy being a part of the auction items and whatever as well. And obviously, you can buy drinks as well. Like Tonewood's going to be open in itself to enjoy some of their crafted beers and stuff like that.
So Phil's having an off day on Thursday, and that leads me to my next question, which is any surprise guests stopping by on Thursday?
I don't want to confirm nor deny, but I would say that there's been talks with not only active but alumni, and I know you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And you get a lot of really cool social media support. I saw Garrett Stubbs shared one of your stories, and I think maybe Marshy has as well. And we've talked about this a million times, but this team is just so likable. It's filled with guys that you root for, not only because they're good and it's a really good team, but they just really seem to care about one another. They seem to care about people that work in the dugout like you and the management and everything. It's a really likable group of players in that dugout.
Yeah, no, I almost want to call it a brotherhood when you see the way that these guys all interact with one another. And the thing is, I think I said the last time I was on, we were talking about my job in particular. They care about the employees as much as anything else. And so, some people care about community events more than others. And, obviously you guys had Stubbs on and he's been supportive about, like you said, sharing links and, following me and liking my profile, spreading things around. And, obviously that translates to who they are as people. It has nothing to do with them as baseball players.
When you gleefully participate in a prom date invite,
right? That's what I'm talking
about. They're pretty much open to anything, which is very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam, I'm coming to the game on the 5th. It'll be my first game of the season. Unfortunately, I'm going with a friend who can afford to be in the Diamond Club section.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be right down by you. If I come over and say hi, you're going to remember who I am?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Security!
Might jog my memory.
Dude, how much fun is it right now? I mean, this is an unbelievable start. Is this the type of thing that isn't actively talked about too much? Like when a pitcher's on a streak, you just kind of don't touch it and let it go.
Sure.
Or do you hear rumblings of, hey, this is the greatest start the team has had in almost the entire history of the team?
Sure. I have kind of multiple perspectives on this. Like I mentioned before, I used to go to school for sports journalism, things like that. I have that mindset in me of realizing the history of Phillies and what this team's like. But being around the clubhouse, you definitely don't really talk about it. And the bottom line is, and this is something that some of the guys have said to the media in interviews, especially recently, the more and more this start has become what it is, it really doesn't matter if we don't win the whole thing.
Right.
And that's what the goal is coming into it, especially after how last year ended. So it's really fun to be a part of. Every game's fun in itself. You never know what's going to happen. That's why people go to games. That's why they watch them. You always see something new at baseball games. And for us, I think as a clubhouse and being around the guys, I think their mindset is pretty clear. They love bebeing around each other. They come to work every day. They want to win. That's why you're there. You might as well
clearly.
Win. You might as well win while you're there, right?
And
then
while you're having fun.
Right. And then, you're going to see that intensity start to rise as we get into August and September. And obviously after that.
We talked about your job a lot last time when you were here because it is an interesting gig. Do do Bat Boys know other Bat Boys, or do you interact with the guys from the other team?
I'd say familiar faces. You know, we mentioned last time some of the guys travel. That's the only way I'm really going to see some of the other Bat Boys around the league. You know, there's a couple in particular. I know that the Dodgers are one. Like I always see the guys. The guy with San Diego, and honestly, it's like we're not even on a first name basis.
Is the San Diego dude the oldest one of the lot?
The Dodgers, I think, are. They're in their 30s.
Right.
They travel full time. I mean, not like the others don't in that regard, but you know, like. For example, the guy in San Diego, we both remembered each other, obviously, with the whole NLCS series we had. And, you know, I don't even know his name, honestly. But it's just like, we recognize each other. We're like, hey, man, what's up? Like, how you been? Whatever. And it's really cool. You know, like, we all can connect as far as what we do for a living, and it's cool.
I was watching the game yesterday, and I've not been to the ballpark in San Francisco. It just looks like one of the nicest in the bigs. What's your top want as far as ballparks go? The one you want to get to the best?
Want that I haven't? Wrigley. I love nostalgia and baseball and stuff like that. I've been to Fenway, and those are probably my big two. I did a project in like middle school on like old baseball stadiums, and like the stats and everything was on like a big trifold, and those were the main two. And the trifold was Fenway and Wrigley, so Wrigley's got to be number one.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, listen, we do have another interview coming up in about a minute or so, so we'll wrap things up and just reiterate the information that Adam is going to have this event on Thursday. It's a cornhole tournament. You can play or not, or you can just donate, or you can go and you can have a good time, and who knows who you might run into at this event. So it's this Thursday at Tonewood Brewing in Barrington, New Jersey. 2 locations, so keep in mind it's the Barrington location, 5 to 9:30, and come by and help Adam. Obviously, you're helping out the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. This is what this is all about. The LLS is raising funds and helping find a cure and all those wonderful things that groups like this do. So we'll send people in that direction. You can check WMMR.com. We'll have the info right there. And then when do we find out about the Visionary of the Year award? Any idea?
June 13th.
Okay, so it's
we're coming up on that as well for donations and everything if you're thinking about it. So
excellent. All right. Great to see you, Adam.
Absolutely.
I'll
Great
see you
to see you guys
next week of the game. All right, Adam Kenali, Bat Boy for your fills. And like I said, we'll have that info posted. So we're waiting to hear. We're going to go with a Zoom with Vigo Mortensen in a little bit. But I want to take this second to give you the information once again on an announcement we made earlier this morning. Fresh on the heels of the official opening of the Jersey Shore with the Keenan's live broadcast and all that stuff, we announced MMR's Jersey Shore 64. It is a bracket full of Jersey Shore favorites, and these are bars, restaurants, locations, activities, stuff like that all have to do with down the shore. And it was really hard to but to narrow down to.
You have to refine it down.
64 things. And so the bracket and voting has begun at WMMR.com. And the end result is, once we get a final winner, Pierre Robert is going to be broadcasting live from wherever this may be.
There's a whole host of options for where he might be broadcasting from.
He could be at a Wawa. He could be at a fishing pier on a bridge. He could be on a pontoon tiki boat on one of these tiki boats because Pauhana, Kathy, is one of the locations that is up for the whole thing. So all of the information is at WMMR.com, and we please urge you to vote for that, and we'll see where Pierre is broadcasting live from. Our next guest is on the line, and we're very excited to talk to him. Huge fan.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is a passion project of his that he's promoting because he was the writer and director of this film. It will be in theaters on Friday. It is called The Dead Don't Hurt. And not only is he writing, directing, he's starring in it as well. And it's a Western, looks like a beautiful piece of art. So we would like to welcome Mr. Vigo Mortensen to our program this morning. Vigo, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I see you got a Phillies cornhole board.
We do. Yeah, actually, we have the Bat Boy of the Phils in our studio right now. He's doing a fundraiser and wanted to promote this cornhole event that's going on.
Are you a big cornhole fan?
I'm not a big cornhole fan. How about you?
I played it for the first time just a little over a month ago at my son's wedding. I've never played it, and I enjoyed it.
Were you a natural?
I got pretty lucky. I think it was that sort of beginner's luck.
Hey,
I did well.
The character that you played in 28 Days was a pitcher. Did he pitch for the Phillies, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Nice.
And there was a scene in the movie where I'm a Mets fan, and there was a scene in the movie where I pitched from the mound at Shea Stadium, and that was cut out, unfortunately.
Oh,
and yeah, it was really fun to do that, and to go.
Vigo, when I saw the trailer for The Dead Don't Hurt, I saw writer and director of this film, and I'd mentioned how it's got to be a passion project for you. Can I ask where this idea started? Did it start with just, I want to create a Western, or I'm always curious where the kernel of inspiration starts for things like this.
Well, I didn't even realize I was writing a Western at first. I started writing this in 2020 during the pandemic lockdown. Didn't have anywhere to go, and maybe that's why I was dreaming of these landscapes and being riding free across them. But I started with this image of a little girl who then becomes Vivian, adult, played by Vicky Creeps, wonderfully. This very stubborn, strong-willed little girl who then becomes a very independent-minded woman. And I thought, well, let's put the story of this woman not in this century or the 20th century, let's put her on the Western frontier in the 19th century, because it'll be harder for her. Society that was kind of lawless, dominated by some powerful, unscrupulous men, or kind of violent, that'll make it tougher for her. And so that's how it became a Western. But I do like Westerns. Like most kids of my generation, I grew up watching them, TV series that were Westerns on TV, and you could go still to the movies and watch a Western now and then. It wasn't like a retro genre like it is now, although this year our movie and a couple other ones are coming in, so maybe it's a mini revival.
No, I think that Westerns are coming back. They're sort of, because foundationally they're just good drama, but the people talk about Star Wars being a Western in space or whatever. It has the same dynamic, and the Old West, I think, Vigo, represents that period in time where, at least the perception was, you had a lot more sway over your destiny. You were there. There were certain freedoms, and as you talk about this young woman who's trying to decide where she fits into society, and what her role will be. Just give us a quick snapshot of the story.
Well, we tried to make it like a classic Western. It's shot that way. The dialogue is right for the period, the saddles, the gun, the look of everything, the town, clothing. What's different is that it has a woman at the center of the story, this strong, stubborn woman, who's probably psychologically the strongest person in the story, even though obviously physically she can't overcome the bad guys. But played by Vicky Creeps, she's fantastic actress, and she really made that role shine.
It's kind of funny because I was reading an interview with her where she said that she had just happened to be thinking about Arizona. I think she might have been in Arizona, and about
she was shooting a movie. I think when I offered this to her, she was shooting a movie on the border with Mexico. It was modern day where she was playing, I think, a border patrol person.
And the fact that you would come and offer a Western just seemed very fortuitous. Something also that you did, you wrote, or at least scored the movie in some way, correct? Did you actually write the full soundtrack, the musical accompaniment of the movie?
Yeah, and I did it with, a couple other musicians, a cellist named Cameron Stone, brilliant. He did some of the music for, what's it called? The Dragons, the House of the Dragons.
Oh, House of the Dragons, yeah, okay. The
Sure.
Game of Thrones sequel. Yeah. And what I was reading...
And Scarlett Rivera, violinist. Anyway, we did it way before the shoot, and that was really helpful to design how we wanted to shoot certain scenes and how long they would last. I played the music for the cinematographer and the actor. I said, well, this is the tone of it. This is how these transitions will work. And it just helped me be more efficient shooting and also editing the movie.
So that helped you in your...
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. In your choices as a director, you actually were able to pre-score the movie, and that sort of created the story already in your mind.
Yeah, it helped. I had done that in the first movie I directed, Falling. It was sort of accidental. It took me like 4.5 years to raise the money to make that movie, and I already had the script. I had the main actor, Lance Henriksen. And I thought, well, what else can I do to prepare? And so I started imagining what the music would be. It's simpler than in The Dead Don't Hurt, but I ended up recording most of it also before, and it was sort of accidental. I just had it, and then I realized it was helpful in shooting and designing certain scenes, how long they should last, how many shots, what the rhythm and the tone of the scene should be. So since that had worked in the first movie, I did it on purpose.
That's very cool. The reviews have been very, very good, and a lot of them, and one of them in particular, said how they were impressed by the way it deconstructs the Western, brought up The Unforgiven, Outlaw Josie Wales, The Searchers. That's pretty good company to be in. Yeah. So is there a certain point where you put all this work? I mean, every facet of this movie has your fingerprint on it, and then you turn it over to the audience. Does it at that point become the audience's movie?
Absolutely, and I like that. And all these things that, whether it's the music, you're doing it with people, the script, you're sharing with people, it changes, it evolves as other people get involved. So it's always a team kind of effort. But then when you're done, the first person that sees the movie, it's their movie. Wow. I've done lots of Q&As, which are the conversations with audiences after screenings. And I'm going to do some more, I think, in the coming days. And I love those because they'll say, well, you obviously were thinking of this when you wrote that, or you guys are copying that movie, or you're talking about the political situation today. I mean, things that are surprising. I'm like, well, it's your movie now, so your opinion is as valid as mine.
No,
they surprise me sometimes, and I think I love that. I love that people, it means that they have participated as viewers, and they like the movie enough to have an opinion about it.
It's a pretty wild thing to turn over art and have it then become, the way the audience will express the way they see it, and that's their truth. I wanted to ask you, working on with Peter Jackson on the enormity of something like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you as a budding director and and writer, and you're watching all this. You could, I think, go two ways. You could be so overwhelmed that you're like, there's no way I can ever do this. Or did it go the other way and it just excited you to the possibility of what you as a filmmaker could create?
Well, Peter Jackson, and I've been fortunate to work for many great directors, women and men from different countries, telling different kinds of stories, but the best of them really efficient, like Peter was, able to communicate with a large team and overcome all the obstacles that they faced. And it was like a long, really intense kind of film school. It was great in a way. I mean, there was a lot of work for everybody involved, but here I was as an actor. I was being paid to be there in New Zealand all this time. And I could watch. I was free to walk into any set, any area, and watch them building where the elves lived, making the weapons, the clothing, watching Peter Jackson and his team solve problems every day. It was great. I learned a lot. It didn't make me think, oh my God, it's too much. I thought, well, I don't think I'd want to make something that big. Right. But in terms of the stories I have that I've written that I want to tell, I learned a lot of things in terms of how he interacted with his crew, how he encouraged people to contribute and to make suggestions, and that he was never threatened by someone having a good idea.
Well, it clearly worked out.
Yeah, The Dead Don't Hurt looks wonderful, and I've only seen the trailer, so I'm looking forward to the whole thing. It comes out on Friday officially, so we'll all be able to take a peek and make it our movie.
That's right.
Which is wonderful. Vigo, we are massive fans. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Anytime. Vigo Mortensen, guys.
Yeah.
Wow. He's amazing.
He is.
Yeah. I did not know that about the music.
Yeah, he wrote the freaking music, too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What?
The talent on some people.
Now, mind you, when you see the movie, it's just a kazoo.
That is it?
Yeah. So,
that still can be impressive. I mean, those seem easy to play.
No. God. I mean, that's pretty. So to do that ability is what I think Michael Giacchino, we talked about him with his directing. The fact that he's hearing music that's going to inform the way the visuals take place. It all sort of dovetails. It's kind of amazing.
Casey had held up something because, we only have 10 minutes or so to chat, so we can't bring up everything. But in the movie Captain Fantastic, at the end of it, there's a version of Sweet Child of Mine that his family plays. Yeah. And Casey, did he do the arrangement for that? Is that what you were holding up?
No, it's just that on the soundtrack, he actually got the credit for performing that song.
Yeah, I don't know if he I thought mainly the kids sang.
See, I thought that was Guns
on
N'
that.
Roses.
Well, it was.
Oh.
But you remember we had Slash on a while back, and I asked him, I'm like, have you seen the version of this song? He said, I've heard about it, but I have not seen it yet. It's like I get choked up thinking about it. That movie is, oh my God, this, I didn't even know you had it.
This is Kathy.
Is it on your phone?
Yeah. But this is studio version.
And it's at a funeral, so that's what makes it a little more emotional when you hear it. But that movie's great, man.
It is an
fantastic,
appreciated movie.
Yeah, and it's unique. It's definitely unique. It's about this family that kind of lives off the grid, and they don't, they homeschool, and they just.
Then he gets injected with super serum.
No, that was like Captain America. or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Different captain.
Different captain. They're both fantastic, but this was called fantastic.
It's really an incredible. It's sad and beautiful, and
It makes me feel like a loser when I watch that movie because
like how good of a dad he
yes,
is,
and how intelligent everybody in that family is, and they're not allowed to use the word interesting. And I use it all the damn time.
It's like the movie Parenthood.
They're not allowed to use interesting?
No, you have to come up with a better word than interesting. You can't say that Friday morning at Keenan's, well, that was an interesting morning.
That's like Jackie Bam Bam and Awesome, right? Doesn't he, isn't he like anti-awesome?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's a
didn't know
whole,
that.
I think there's in that studio, I think there's a whole list of synonyms to awesome.
Oh.
Because awesome is overused.
So that's his personal belief from the guy who says iron.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
What?
That's interesting.
I'm sorry.
I was literally about to say the word interesting. I'm like, damn it.
Sometimes the most evident and perfect word is the word to use. Yeah. And what best conveys your emotion, then go with interesting.
Steve, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, actually, when you think about it.
Oh, my God.
I try to be awesomely interesting.
Oh, no.
And then the other one I wanted to ask him about, but, maybe we have him in for a chat sometime. We can talk about Green Book because he was absolutely incredible in that movie.
You know who's really good in that too? Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is terrific in that movie. And also History of Violence.
Oh, man.
Kathy's favorite.
How cool is it he pointed out the cornhole thing behind me? That's great.
And he had to mention the Mets.
Well, grew up a fan, so.
I was watching people play cornhole on, what was it, Sunday. Man, yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
I'm going to add something.
Some people are really, really bad, but I will tell you, they had a great playlist of like 90s, like hip hop rap music, and it was hilarious because these guys were all younger.
This on the beach?
This is on the beach.
Okay.
They didn't know the words to songs. Like in the song Motown Philly, they go, boys to men. Boys to men. I just hear the girl come over and she's like, boys are back. Boys are back. I'm like, that's the name of the band. It's okay. All right. Yeah. And that made me feel a little bit older. I felt very, very old about that.
It's your truth.
Yeah.
Rochelle asked what ABC BBD was.
Oh, that's the Belle Biv DeVoe and Another Bad Creation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, the reference to those groups.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to mention something about cornhole. I saw something on the beach I had never seen before on the boardwalk, which was a cornhole board that was a hybrid of skee ball and cornhole.
Interesting. Well, what did that look like?
So it was made of plastic, and it had like the classic skee ball, holes or slots that you would throw into. And and obviously it has to go in the hole and then through the system and roll back out.
Right.
But it just was, there was no hole per se.
Okay.
And so you could play it at the beach. You could play, and there were either points or they also had a drink version of it if you landed
I like that. I like skee ball a lot.
I love skee ball. It's been a while since I played it.
If you ever see like on ESPN when they have the cornhole champions.
By the way, you use bean bags.
Yeah.
Like cornhole. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So they, the way they finesse, the way they place those, and can push another bag in.
I mean, they're good. They're next level.
They're next level. It is pretty amazing.
Speaking of random sports on television, Steve, I went out to dinner over the weekend, over Memorial Day weekend, and we were sitting at a bar, and on ESPN, the Ocho or whatever, they had pickleball on TV, which is fine. The Phillies game was on 3 of the 4 TVs at the bar, and this lady came in and got so mad, not only at the television, but at the bartenders for airing this. And she started going off about how people who play pickleball are taking away tennis courts from serious tennis players. She was a few beverages in at this point.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
It was funny because everybody we were all sort of looking at each other, knowing that she was being the drunk, crazy one, but she was so mad at pickleball being on the television.
My husband left me.
Lady, it'll be okay. We're going to make it through.
So pickleball is her thing.
She hates.
She hates it.
Yes, yeah. And the fact that it's on television, Preston.
It makes
dear
noise.
God.
It takes away tennis courts.
That's right.
Oh.
It made her so mad.
Okay.
People have their things.
They sure do.
They do, don't
Do I have a thing?
You do.
We all do.
You hate it when people won't recognize 90s rap lyrics.
Yeah. I can't. Well, hip hop.
Yeah.
But
we all do. I can't think of mine right now.
I
But
try
know
not
there's-
to have a
I know
thing.
there's something that gets me angry more than it should. Without
Taffy.
question. I actually have a list. We'll have to get to it. No, it's not taffy. I like taffy. I have a list of it.
Goddamn
It just
taffy.
came out today. It was the things that Americans are most annoyed with.
Oh.
And one of them was it was like social
Arbitrary lists.
No, like social media trends.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I get sometimes I'm like
You do.
another one.
Yeah, you
Dear
hate that.
God, I saw one this morning of pictures of a baby that looks grumpy all the time, and he's like, and the way the press was hitting it was on the national news this morning. It said he's the greatest sensation and blah 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 and so on. Really the greatest sensation.
He broke
Like
the
biggest-
internet.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Really?
So you hate cute babies.
Yeah, I hate cute babies.
All right. I thought that's what I heard.
Put them in a blender. No. Do you remember the baby blender jokes that went on forever?
Oh, there was a big trend for a while.
Ages ago.
There was like your mama jokes. There was the insult books were super popular. If you look at all the ephemeral trends, for all the years, and then, but the fact that we grind through so many so quickly because of TikTok and social media, I mean. It's like, don't get attached to any one thing. This morning, I was thinking about it. I was eating my Tide Pods, and I'm thinking,
No, maybe it wasn't babies in a blender. It was just dead babies. There was a dead baby joke thing that happened for a while. The one I remember was Why the Chicken Crossed the Road, because dead baby was stapled to it.
Yeah.
And like this was, there were like tons of jokes that came out at that time. I don't remember what era that was.
Yeah.
It was late 80s, early 90s, or something like that. Banana. I don't know. All right, anyway. Our next guest is on the line.
yes, not any dead baby jokes.
None at all. But
Every joke they've ever told on Sunny, always classy.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The third season of Hacks is on Max. It's
great.
There's a new series called High Potential that she's going to be starring in. It will debut this fall. Oh, and we have music, of course. We have to. And she's on to talk about anything and everything, I assume. Please welcome on the Xfinity mobile guest line, our good friend, Caitlin Olson. Hi, Caitlin.
Good morning, my sweet little dead baby.
Yes, we'll always be your dead babies. Do you remember that?
Hi,
Your
guys.
dead baby jokes? Does that ring a bell at all?
No, I'm way too young for that, and you're really, really dating yourself.
Yes.
My girl.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Our jokes are all written on parchment paper.
Now we're doing great. We just had we just opened the Jersey Shore with a live broadcast this weekend for Memorial Day weekend, so we're all in summer mode, feeling good. Yeah.
Do you guys do the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, we did it last year, and my family will be doing it this year without me because I am shooting all through the summer.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's fun.
you got a ton of stuff going on. I have to say, well, let's start right out the gate with Hacks. Love that series. My wife and I make sure the second it drops an episode, we watch it. And you have been, last time we talked, I think it was season 2, you were less in it. But this has been great for your character. And you basically have set in motion a meme and a catchphrase that should follow you for many years to come. The episode was called the Roast of Deborah Vance. And your character is her daughter who's sort of put upon. And Deborah's not the best mother, but how wild, how good must it have felt to be that episode? It was just highlighted you completely.
Oh, it was so fun. I got that call, and they were like, okay, here's what we want to do. DJ is going to roast her mom, and we're going to think she's going to tank, and no one's going to believe in her, and then she's going to be really bad, but it's going to go over well for whatever reason, and she wins. And I was just like, okay. I was calling in this morning. I was like, am I even able to say that catchphrase on the radio?
No,
I
but
don't know what the rules are.
It's so the basic thing. The gist is that your catchphrase, and again, Ava, who's the writer, and everyone's waving you off. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. And you get up, and your fallback phrase talking about your mom is, "What a C word! What a C word!"
Yeah.
And the audience just starts howling. and it becomes your So are you okay with having that live in your realm for a while now?
Okay, I want that on my tombstone.
It's just great. That is such a well-written show. And again, look at your character. Your character, no one is one-dimensional. Everyone has a reason. Everyone has a story. There are shades of people when they're good, when they're bad. What a blessing to be involved with that group of people.
Yeah, it's such a great show. Jen and Paul and Lucia, who run that show, are just so incredibly talented. This has been an idea that they've had for years, and they're just so good. And honestly, Jean Smart, I don't know if you've spoken with her, but she's such a sweetheart. She's so up for anything. She's so fun to work with. And what a great mom character for me to have. And I just love that I'm like a middle-aged toddler, throwing a temper tantrum all the time. I love it. It's such a fun character.
Caitlin, I loved how this season began, and it was a really long pan shot that started, I guess, as like a drone shot or whatever, and then worked its way into the casino following what you thought was Jean Smart. Turns out it was sort of like a body double for her for a promotion that the casino was doing. Were you there for that, or have you? I mean, I'm sure you saw it, but it was a really impressive way to start season 3.
Yeah, it was so good. I was not there, but I watched it just as a fan and was just like, their film work is so creative. Their writing is so creative. I love working with people who are thinking outside the box and just trying to do something different, because everything can get so boring. Everyone's just following a formula all the time. So to find a show that's going outside the box. I mean, I think it's why I liked Sunny from the beginning. It's it's just refreshing to do something different.
There are a few different Philadelphia connections that are all on that show as well, and I want to talk about your husband, Paul, who's he's a Delco boy. He actually grew up not too far away from where your husband grew up. But dude, that was pretty cool seeing Paul, out there acting, because I got to know him through MMA, but he's pretty decent in front of the camera.
He's great. So Paul and Cowboy Cerrone did a little cameo on Sunny many years ago. And when they were writing, they didn't know that I was friends with him. And we just become friends from that Sunny episode. And then we became big UFC fans as well. So when they were writing the episode, they were like, we think it'd be really funny if you were dating an MMA player. And I was like, or an MMA star, whatever. And I was like, I know a guy who actually went to acting school and ended up falling back on fighting because that's just something he was good at, which is Paul's story. And so that's how he got that job, which is very cool. He's awesome.
You also had one of the great gender reveals where you come out as a boxer and knock the head off your opponent, and then the colors revealed of the gender. So all of that, that's now watch people to start mimicking that between what a C word and this. You've already said 2 meme chains in motion for years to come.
Yeah, well, she's a classy lady through and through, and I think she's up in every episode.
I wanted to ask you, because we're watching, my wife and I are watching TV, and then the commercial for High Potential comes on, and I'm like, oh my God, is Caitlin involved in a police procedural? But it's you, it's got your attitude, and when and how did this come about?
Somehow I got myself wrapped up in an hour-long ABC crime drama in the fall. I don't know. So it's a French show that's their most popular show in France. And Drew Goddard called, and Drew Goddard is a very incredibly talented writer, showrunner. He wrote on Alias and Lost, and he wrote The Martian, that movie. He's incredible. And Rob Thomas from Party Down is running it, and they sat me down. We went out to lunch. I was like, listen, the last thing I want to do is an hour-long network television show.
Right.
And they were like, cool. Glad we're having this lunch. And then they just started explaining it, and I read his version, and I just fell in love with the character. It's this woman. I mean, I'm still a mess and funny and quirky and fun, so it's a very fun character to play, but she's a super genius. And she is a janitor in a police precinct, and she's screwing around and listening to music on her shift, and she knocks over a bunch of evidence, and as she's trying to put it all back together, glancing up the case board, she just kind of puts together something that they've missed and walks up to the case board and crosses off suspect and writes victim underneath it. And that's
Oh, wow.
the end of
I love this. I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anything like this, a little bit of mystery. In France, is it called HPI or high potential intellectual? Is that what it is?
Yeah, however you would say that in French, it's high potential intellectual, and so we're just calling it high potential.
Yeah, so to me, that like I used to love the series Monk, same sort of things. The skill set, just a great show. So,
it's really fun.
how many have you done so far? How many are in the can, as they say?
We are finishing up the 5th one this week.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because your experience with Fox, because obviously, we love the Mick and that was not your best experience with Fox on that. We talked about it, but here you are with ABC, an even bigger network, and everything is going swimmingly well.
Yeah, well, it actually is. And I will say, the notes that we're getting, ABC loves this show, and I'm just really feeling the love and the support and the marketing already, and we're barely off the ground. So so far, it's a much different experience. I'm having a great time. It's a completely different type of show. It's a different character, and then I return to Sunny in October. So I'm like really feeling very lucky right now. I kind of feel like I'm getting to do it all. Yeah.
Caitlin, I don't think that we've talked to you, speaking of Sunny, since your appearance at The Man, which was a total surprise, the live podcast. And you were not billed as being a part of that show. It was going to be Megan and Rob and Charlie and Glenn. And then you came out from behind the wall, surprised the crap out of everybody. When did you know that might happen? And how did you guys work that surprise out?
Well, I wasn't planning on going, and then they called me like a week before and were like, you should just come. It would just be so fun. And I love Philadelphia so much. I will take any opportunity to come there. So, and that's like, that doesn't feel like work at all. It's so much fun. We're hanging out with our best friends in our favorite city. I was like, well, of course I'm going to go. I'm surprised people didn't see that coming.
I can't believe I didn't see it coming either. But I will say there was something that did happen that night that you didn't know was going to happen. And that was Rob telling the story about, it was a story from his childhood with him and his father. It was around a tumultuous time in their lives. And he told the story about the the Whispering Wall. And it was a place that I was unaware of that it even existed. And it was such a sweet, heartfelt, touching story that you had no idea was coming. And you were up on stage and you couldn't help it. You got emotional listening to the story.
I know. I know. Sometimes he gets me. He's not always that emotional, but when he brings it out, he's just really good. He's a good storyteller, turns out.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah.
Kayla, I wanted to find out how you guys manage your lives between being parents, between the football club, the shows, and all the things, and juggling, and making sure that all of these calendars coincide with each other. That's got to be a job in and of itself.
It is, yeah. It's a big job, and in all seriousness, you guys are a serious morning show, right?
Whatever.
We can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk a lot. I mean, our first priority is our marriage and our kids, so we're always checking in with each other, and it feels like Rob's always in Wales, but he's not. He pops over for long weekends, which is insane. It's always very exhausting and challenging, but it's important. So he'll go, but we're never apart for more than about a week at a time, which is great. And our production schedules just have sort of, I want to say it's coincidence, but it's also us being very intentional about the fact that if somebody's in production, the other person has to not be in production. So right now I'm full on, and he's in writing mode and editing mode and Wrexham mode. So he is home for mornings and evenings. And to be honest with you, I said one of the stipulations of doing this show is you have me for 11 hours. And they've been, my producers and my team at ABC and Disney have been really incredible about keeping that promise. So, I'm about to land at Fox right now, which is where we shoot our show. And if I'm here at 6:45, that means I know I'm done at 5:45, and I'll go home and have dinner with my kids. So, I show up prepared, I work really hard, and then I leave 11 hours later, and they keep going. And yeah, we just you just got to know where your priorities are. I love my job. I love working, but my family will always come first, and everybody knows that. So
Caitlin, is one of the perks of your marriage that you get to see Deadpool and Wolverine before anyone else?
Yeah.
I will go home and discuss that with him this evening. Thank you so much. Any more bullet points, please text them to me after this conversation.
All right.
We were very excited about all this stuff. I mean, I think you can kind of wave off any additional projects at this point. But I mean, outside the gate, you mentioned something earlier, which I thought was kind of interesting. You obviously you come from the world of improv, and you know so many people, and obviously you support those people on It's Always Sunny, but. I mean, the fact that you're at this point where you can help raise other people up who you were perhaps working with in the improv community, that's got to be really cool.
Yeah, honestly, it really is. And for a while now, we've had people come and just their main question is like, how do I break in? How do I get going? And for a long time, we were like, you write your own thing, write your own stuff, present it. And that's still very true, but it's nice to be in a position to also be like, well, here, come audition for the show. I can't guarantee you anything, but I can get the right people's eyes on you. So there's definitely a marriage between opportunity and have the talent and prove that you can, show up and deliver, and we'll help you get in the door. So it feels great.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Terrific.
Well, listen, so obviously Hacks is on Max right now. High Potential, do we know a debut date or month when that's going to be happening?
September. I don't have an exact date. I have a guess, but I don't want to be wrong. So look out for it in September.
Awesome. We're very excited for
very
you.
Cool.
That's excellent.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. So
I know. Surprise.
Good things happening to good people. We love seeing that. Excellent. Caitlin, always great to talk with you. Go ahead.
Where's Kathy?
Hi, Caitlin. I love you. I miss you.
I love to miss you too. Hi, Kathy.
When you come back to go to the Jersey Shore, you have to tell me.
Okay, I will. We'll go out to dinner.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Caitlin. We love you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Love you guys. Bye.
All right. See you later. Caitlin Olson, guys. Wow. A lot going on. A lot going on in that world.
I mean,
and obviously she's busy. She's got a couple of huge things, and Rob is like all over the place.
She was on Curb, too. Let's not forget. That wrapped up. The only way she's losing gigs is if the series ends.
Yeah, that's why I asked a question about managing their household. I know what it's like for just me and Rochelle to try and manage amongst the kids and then all the appointments and things that come along with being a homeowner and all the stuff on top of that.
How many football clubs do you guys own now?
Yeah, right now, we have two.
Okay,
I don't know how but I mean, they have things besides the football club. And
is the only way that it makes sense is to ignore your children?
I guess so.
Yeah.
There's got to be a sacrifice somewhere. They're young. They won't know.
Rob and Ryan Reynolds did that publicity thing where they got prostate exams. I think it was prostate exams.
Yep.
And they filmed it. And one of the guys that was wheeling Rob into the emergency room, to the operating room, says, I'm a big fan of your TV show. And Rob's response, and he wasn't being a jerk when he said it, but was which one? Because he had three on at the time. He's got Wrexham, he's got Mythic West, and he's got Sunny. And so he's just like, well, which one of my TV shows is the one you're currently watching?
Wow. All right. Well, excellent to catch up with her. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Some bizarre file stories as per your request. So stay there. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Hang on a second here.
Damn that. But did that smell like what? Kind of smells like okra.
Let me go to Dawn here. Hey, Dawn, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Dawn?
I helped my niece. I grew up on a dairy farm.
Okay.
And you work no matter what.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, I was helping her milk, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, we were soaked in sweat.
I'm sure.
Milking cows.
You never want to rip one of those teats off?
No, you just want to walk, maybe find a hay bale, toss a hay bale or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I go out in 98-degree weather and throw hay bales around.
No.
That'll work off all that anger.
Boots.
I just beat 10 chickens to death.
Hey, All right, I want to.
Go ahead.
What kind of milk? Not what kind of milk. But
What kind of milk do you like?
where can I get your milk?
I'm a 2%er myself.
I used to be a 2%er. Now I'm a skim guy. But where can I get your milk?
What kind of milk?
I can't say that.
Done.
Say manure.
You're going so well.
Manure.
Manure.
Ah, jeez.
What stores can I buy your milk at?
What stores can he find your milk at?
I feel horrible for my boy here.
Oh, my God.
Casey's in real pain, man. I told you his neck has been bothering him, and he's at the point where he can't turn his head. It's his whole torso. And if you look up, it's almost that.
Yeah.
You know?
He's doing Thriller.
Yeah, you're doing that Thriller move where Michael goes up and turns to the side with his hands up.
He can't laugh. He can't laugh.
Oh my God, that hurts so bad.
Now's the time for getting down.
Well, I think
feel
we're
bad
back
for
to the
him.
point where now we have to tell. He has to go to the doctor. This is not like a stiff neck. It's been a while.
Not like the other guys.
It's clearly meningitis. So, I don't know.
That heart attack thing.
You okay?
Yes.
All right. This is what it looks like. Hey, Casey.
Yes.
Pastor. I wanted to set up the stop set.
You poor bastard.
Oh, he's laughing and in pain at the same time. I feel so.
God, that hurts
I must
so bad.
let you know we have a sleep number spot coming up. Make sure you sound enthusiastic.
Unfortunately, you're in the most sympathetic room in Philadelphia.
Poor son of a bitch. But listen quickly. There's a few people that are texting in. They know exactly how much. A guy says 8 beers, and I'm effing like a goddamn champion.
Yeah, but 10.
That's a lot.
But
That's the fine
Kathy's
line.
right. 8 beers is a lot.
I guess it would depend over what amount of time. But maybe you know that exact amount.
You're in the pocket.
That will give you duration.
Yeah.
Yet not completely cancel the party.
Without urination.
Duration without urination. Stand for it now.
There we go.
But there may be a magic amount or a magic elixir.
What do you think your magic number is?
Drink.
I bet you. I peg you as a 4.
That's
beer.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
4 was the number that came to mind, but I've never actually done the specific math.
Well, when we have the camp out, it took you about 4 before we were getting it on.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I had to lower my inhibitions a little bit.
Do different types of alcohol.
Fear of rejection.
That's
from
what actually
Steve.
kept the camp out going. It's like a
All these
Brokeback.
years, yeah.
Do you think those guys really gave a damn about sheep herding?
I couldn't quit that.
If you're drinking bourbon versus beer, does that change your approach?
No, I think
right, straight up booze.
I find that my alcohol buzzes aren't really different from others. It's just how much.
Okay.
You know? I don't know.
I can't drink 4 beers anymore. And that guy that texted in 8 beers, forget it. I'll be throwing up in the corner.
Over a couple hours, you can drink 4 beers?
Oh, I love beer. I just can't drink 8 of them.
What? How many bottles of wine?
Like 2 bottles of wine.
I'm like, I average about a beer every half hour.
Nick
That's what I
has-
try to do if I'm going out, you know.
I mean, how big of a bottle?
Nick has instead of the hat, the captain, he has a parade with 2 bottle holders in it. When
2 bottles of wine.
The hose that comes down to his mouth.
I cracked open a 1.5 liter bottle last night, and that's
Finished
empty.
it?
Yeah.
You
Well,
finished
I wasn't by myself.
Were you like Johnny Depp? And
Where's that pour?
I gotta do the show tomorrow.
no, so the carbonation in the beer really starts to fill you up.
Yeah, it's the carbonation. You get filled.
Oh, okay.
And then when you get filled, I think it makes sex less appealing. You're all
I would agree,
bloated,
Because you're burping and farting.
Kinda. Yeah.
Do you remember that the video of Hulk Hogan? He kept going on about he had just eaten. He felt like a pig. He was full, and he was having
fat, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have sex now.
You look good, baby.
I don't feel good. I feel bloated.
Let me see here.
And in the background is Bubba the Love Sponge. Go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are taking, like somebody said, 3 beers and 2 shots of Jameson. Perfect.
Special, no pun intended, concoction that gets it done.
Yeah. I never really thought about it that way. But I guess it's out there. But they're saying, yes, instead of alcohol, although it may get you to the party,
Have you ever used like a horny goat weed? Oh, we talked about Viagra. We've all
herbal remedies and things like. Nah, I don't believe in those at all. I don't even believe in quote unquote aphrodisiacs.
Yeah,
oysters and.
What about amnesiacs?
Guys don't need aphrodisiacs. We just need a hand or a mouth, and we're good.
Yeah,
right.
And then if it's a girl,
right,
right. What happened to the other parts?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, just to get us started.
Anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm at a certain point though. The warranty comes due, and you may need some assistance.
Hand or a mouth and produce, whatever.
The hand is stupid. Use the produce.
Yeah.
I saw a root from a tree that looked like a vagina the other day.
Perfect. Did you bang it?
No.
It was still
playing
on the
golf.
tree. Yeah.
But I'm going
Fellas,
turn them on.
Give me a few seconds. I'm going to go bang this tree.
Radio personality arrested banging a tree.
Why did you do that to me?
It's like Lord of the Rings. Two Towers.
Oh my God! This guy just tried to have me sexually. He banged the knot behind me. Scared the owl that was living in it.
That is the first time we've ever had a talking tree.
Seriously?
On the
Is
show.
that what they sounded like
in Lord of the Rings? Yeah. They had the
deep voices, yeah.
Huge, big voice. And
what you doing back there, buddy?
The owl.
You scared the owl living in my knot. That's my knot sack.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, Samwise, we just had a threesome with a pine tree. I'll be pulling splinters out of my sack for years to come.
By the way, did you see the guy who won the gold medal in last year's springboard? Last Olympic springboard?
No.
The dude from Russia failed a dive yesterday.
How did he do? What did he do?
He belly flopped. So,
by the way, Casey, can you do that new prep that they do?
No.
What is that?
I don't know.
It looks like they're tripping.
Please explain.
All right. So before, when Kathy and I were diving, you would have like a 3 or a 4-step approach, a crow hop, a jump,
as you're leading into the dive, you do 1, 2, 3. Bam, up.
Right.
All right, so when you're
Casey's going to demonstrate
that's
this
called
in the
prep.
studio.
All right.
So now they have this thing where it's like 1, 2, skip.
Yeah, that's what they do. I've tried it in my living room. I will admit this, and I can't quite get what they're doing.
Me neither. I don't know why they do it.
Is it the Dorothy skip from The Wizard of Oz?
We could do that, Steve. We could.
Yeah,
the Olympic Games.
How would you skip, Kathy? What would be your skip?
I mean, I would just do the traditional skip, right leg, left leg.
Let's time you.
It would be hard. What, all the way down the hall? Down the hall.
You have to do a lap, right?
Olympic skipping.
No.
Do it down the hall. That's European style.
This is your starting point right here.
All right, Olympic skipping.
All right.
You want me to go first?
So,
okay.
Olympic skipping. Do we need a video crew for this? Hold on. Okay. All right.
All right. There's your starting point.
All right. Skippers, take your mark. Set. Go. And she's off. She's skipping down the hall, and she looks happy while doing it. So now she's coming back. Here we go.
No.
Push it. Push it. Go. Time.
All right.
Wow.
You going to try it or no?
I was going to use Wizard of Oz method, but...
Hey, it's just like diving. Whatever your approach is, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Watch out down the hall.
All right.
There's people cheering for us.
All right.
Here he goes. He's warming up.
Yep, he's doing.
Get limber.
All right. Do your Michelle Jenneke dance. Skippers, take your marks.
All right,
Set. Go. All right, and he's off. He's off. Oh my God, he's doing this double skip.
Now he skips like
Steve. Oh my God, does he look insanely? He looks way too happy while doing that. He should be coming around the corner any second now, around through the kitchen, and here he comes. He's doing the double skip. All right, I think he's not going to beat your time, Kathy. And time.
Wow. Double footing it.
Oh, yeah.
double footer.
You crushed it.
I got the gold.
All right, let's do one more because Nick wanted to take you on, and we'll see if he can beat the.
Nick's wearing sneakers. Kathy was going barefoot.
Yeah.
That's a different approach, too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was double skipping, and I screwed it up.
Nick's loosening up. Okay. And Skipper, take your mark. set, go! And he's off. And he is skipping furiously.
He's a terrible skipper.
He might actually get injured.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to be our injury for sure.
Yes. Let me know what. All right, here he comes around the
Wait
corner.
a second. He might win.
About to cross the finish line and across. Time.
Close. 16.67 seconds.
What?
Kathy retains the gold.
Thank you.
Damn it! Oh my God! Look here.
Wow, I thought he had you. Olympic skipping. I'd say that's definitely an event down the road.
Try doing that. Try doing it Wizard of Oz style.
I might go with
that was
it.
pretty awesome.
I might start training.
I think I can beat you.
Can you beat my time? Well, are you doing it Wizard of Oz or straight
No,
ahead?
I'm doing straight ahead skipping.
Clearly, Wizard of Oz is not the way to go.
But funnier.
Was it funnier?
Yes.
All right. It did look good, Steve.
All right. All right. Watch out, Marilyn.
Watch out, Marilyn.
All right. Here we go.
Come on, we're competing.
Skippers, take your mark. Set. Go.
All right, Preston's off, and he is. Well, he is. No, wait a second. He looks like a charging gorilla.
Is he just running?
He's just running. He's no.
No, he was
What?
skipping.
What
He was
is
skipping.
that? Are you kidding?
Oh my God, dude.
You look like a charging gorilla.
Wow. We have set so many world records in the past couple of weeks. You shattered the world record, Preston.
What?
With a time of 13.6.
Yes. All right. Do me again with my new method of skipping.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
I think I hurt my ankle.
Oh, you're the injury?
Yeah.
My new method of skipping.
Okay. Steve, you want your tags on?
Olympic skipping.
Okay, all right.
Ow.
Okay.
All right, skipper, take your mark. Set and go. He's off. Oh, he's running. He's absolutely running. And here he comes. And
Yes!
Wow.
That was my new method of skipping.
New world record.
Hey!
no, he broke his gait.
He got DQ'd.
He got DQ'd. I was skipping. What do you mean?
I will say the turns were a little difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, they were, right?
Yeah.
I seriously, I pulled something down there. My left ankle, it was already bothering me. I don't know why I did that. That was
Why did
stupid.
you do? That was the funniest hardcore skipping. Woo!
I know. I think I had a look of intensity on my face.
You did.
I stumbled across this. It might have been late last week, and I didn't get a chance to bring it up to you guys. But Panda Express has come out with a new tool. I wish Bobby Lee.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Sports and Social at Live Casino, Phillies Fridays at Sports and Social Philly. Every Friday, home game. You can enjoy free caricature drawings, Budweiser specials, giveaways, memorabilia, and more. Visit sportssocialphilly.com. The Florida Highway Patrol just released a dash camera video of a high-speed chase in South Florida that ended after a woman jumped off a concrete ramp into the water below.
All right.
27-year-old Melina Logan went to a Honda dealership in South Miami to test drive a vehicle, but when she refused to stop, police started their pursuit. And in the dash cam video, Logan is seen driving recklessly, making aggressive lane changes, and speeding down the shoulder to pass vehicles at nearly 90 miles an hour. When Logan approached standstill traffic, she crashed into several vehicles before becoming disabled and pinned against the concrete ramp.
Wow.
To flee from officers, Logan gets on top of the concrete ledge and took a big old dive down into the water below. And then the woman refused to grab an officer's rope to be pulled out of the water.
I'll take it.
Which led to several officers jumping into the lake to remove her forcefully. In the process, she scratched an officer and pushed another underwater. The North Carolina woman was removed from the lake, and then she was booked into jail. All right, this is in Lancaster, but it's in New Hampshire, Lancaster. A Lancaster man was arrested twice within 3 hours, accused of damaging a store in town and then driving a car through the building's front doors.
All right. What the hell's going on with people?
Surveillance video showed Richard Ruddy damaging the Big Apple store. Surveillance video shows Ruddy talking to a cashier at the store Thursday before he started throwing items and pushing over shelves. Police said, we're not sure what caused him to have a reaction that he did. Anything he could grab, he was throwing. He made a very large mess.
I think he was confused at the Big Apple stores in New Hampshire.
And then police arrived 5 minutes after the clerk pressed a panic button. Police said Ruddy threw a carton of cigarettes at an officer, but he was then arrested and charged with criminal mischief. Ruddy was released on bail with specific conditions that he not return to the Big Apple store.
Yes, Your Honor.
But police said that after Ruddy was released on Thursday night, he returned to the store. Police spotted him near the gas pumps, but when they approached, he took off and drove through the doors of the store. That was his big getaway plan. He was arrested again and was ordered.
I'm going to say he doesn't like this store.
He was ordered under preventative detention. A man was rescued after jumping into the ocean from Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. That's their biggest ship.
Wow.
On Sunday morning as the ship sailed towards Roatan, Honduras.
So he jumped off one of the promenade deck or something?
I don't know. The incident occurred one day after departing from Miami for a 7-night cruise. The ship's automatic identification system showed the vessel was deviating from its course to launch a rescue craft to locate the man overboard. A guest confirmed that an announcement was made stating that the individual was rescued shortly after the rescue craft had been launched.
Do these passengers know that there are pools on board?
Right. Later that morning, the Icon of the Seas hotel director addressed Crown and Anchor members in a top-tier inn event in the show theater that the man was in the ship's intensive care unit with his family. The ship was now back on its course for the first port of call in Roatan. Royal Caribbean said that the ship's crew immediately notified the Coast Guard, launched a search and rescue operation. They said our care team is actively providing support to assist the guests' loved ones during this difficult time. So Cruise Lines International Organization reported in 2020 that out of 212 man overboard situations, only 28% had successful rescue. So the overwhelming majority of people
they die.
Do not make it. This is Royal Caribbean's 10th man overboard since 2020, by the way.
It's crazy.
The irate steakhouse customer accused of pulling down a teen's skirt in public last month has been fired from her job with the Utah Attorney General's office.
What?
Ida Anna Lorenzo was hired as a legal secretary with the Attorney General's office March 4th, but was relieved of her duties on April 25th. The same day, she was hit with criminal charges stemming from the steakhouse incident. Lorenzo was charged with sexual battery, a Class A misdemeanor for allegedly yanking down a 19-year-old girl's skirt in the lobby of Sakura Japanese Steakhouse.
Come on, let's see that thing.
So it was actually the opposite of what she was trying to do. The aftermath of the incident was captured in a viral TikTok video in which Lorenzo was heard telling the alleged victim that her ass cheeks were hanging out and threatening to call child services. During a 36-second video, the young woman's friends yelled at Lorenzo after the altercation. They were saying, "You do not get to touch her." Lorenzo appeared to flash a badge at the group of girls and told them that she was a Utah state employee. By the way, she was a legal secretary.
Yeah, I got a badge.
Yeah. The TikTok video has been viewed more than 13 million times. Following mounting backlash online from the viral altercation, Lorenzo contacted police saying that she felt a threat on her life after being accused of sexually harassing a teen.
This badge means I can take dictation.
In the body camera footage taken inside the police station, Lorenzo claimed that she saw the teen's, quote, entire vagina and butt cheeks while in the packed restaurant's lobby with children around, adding that a young boy allegedly pointed out the girl's short skirt. She admitted to tugging on the teen's skirt, but alleged that her hands never touched the girl's skin. The officer said she was seen speaking with, told her it wasn't her job to physically take matters into her own hands and that she could have called the police if she felt that strongly.
I remember the story. I saw the picture of the skirt. It wasn't that high.
Okay.
It was a shorter skirt, but I doubt you could see the full vagina and everything she said you could see.
Police said the teen whose skirt was allegedly pulled down by Lorenzo had contacted them to report that she was sexually assaulted in the lobby of the restaurant.
So you can't just randomly adjust people's clothing?
I don't think they're allowing that these days, Steve. No.
Tuck that shirt in.
One last story, and then we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. In North Carolina, a man is sharing his story after discovering a strange object that may have been from outer space.
Oh, man.
So far, the object hasn't been inspected by aerospace experts, but the discovery has a lot of people scratching their heads. Justin Klontz who is a ground maintenance worker, found it earlier this week.
Are they just clods? Justin clods?
Along a remote trail on the property owned by the Glamping Collective. The unidentified object is about 3 feet high. It is so heavy the worker had to tow it out of the trail using a lawnmower. With a piece of debris this big, one would expect someone would have heard it hurling towards the ground, but nobody has said that they heard anything. But Clant said it's a 1 in a million chance that it lands, especially if it landed somewhere off the trail in the woods. You'd never have found it, but it just happened to land on the trail. The owner said that he planned on reaching out to aerospace experts to figure out what it is and where it came from.
Yes, and Mr. Klontz is on the line?
So it says that burnt carbon fiber dots the surface along with heavy-duty pieces and plates of metal. It's all held together with what looks like thick bolts. So there's been a few times lately.
Yes.
Where space debris has been coming down and people have been finding it. And this thing is kind of weird looking, so they're trying to
It's about the size of like
identify it.
like maybe half a piano.
I don't know. He said it was like 3 feet, so yeah, pretty large. All right, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you for now. We will take a break. Don't forget our Word of the Week prize this week is a pair of pit tickets to the sold-out Chris Stapleton concert Thursday, June 6th. So listen up. We'll get the letter at the end of the show. We'll come back in a moment with a lesson question, trash, and music news. A new tool that could forever change how we eat Chinese food, eat Asian food in general, because the chain may soon be introducing a chork or a chopsticks fork hybrid in its restaurants.
All right, how good are you at chopsticks?
I'm real good at chopsticks.
I'm pretty good. I don't eat a lot of Asian food.
My whole family is good. We just started in, just for fun, because I think it's just a thing that culturally it's kind of neat to see how,
once you got it, you got it.
Those. Yeah, once you get it, it takes a little practice. The only one, my daughter, she still uses the little kid chopsticks that they make with the rubber band and the little thing.
Has a little spring action.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You want to get good at chopsticks? Get a bowl of peas and just start.
Yeah. Try to pick those out.
That's how you get good.
I'm good at it. I'm pretty decent at it to where I can eat rice, noodles, stuff like that. No, rice is a bitch. It's tough to scoop it under and get it all to stay in one bit on your rice.
It is.
You can do it.
Besides, if you see hardcore, Asian restaurants and people who are Chinese restaurants, there's a scooping process.
There's a little bit, for sure, yeah. But they want to do this chork thing.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's for Americans.
Yeah,
I know.
That's weak sauce.
I have a chadle, which is a ladle and a chork.
A chork and a ladle?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you use that for?
Conversation.
All right.
I have no idea how to use chopsticks.
No kidding.
No idea. Can't. It frustrates me. I don't eat a lot of Chinese food, I will say, but still, I mean, I've tried and I just can't do it.
This is
Jace is better than me.
You will think I am being weird with this, but it involves male genitals to practice.
I don't see the correlation.
All right. I'm just suggesting.
Why
but
don't you
you
show her
already
off
passed.
here?
Yeah.
Kathy, you should practice with it. And
I've tried. Well, I probably should.
You've done the Kathy version of try.
Do you know what happens though?
Ooh, this is gross. I'm stopping.
Well, it's
in
not
deference
gross.
to
I
you,
just don't know how to do it.
a lot of times
I don't like it. I can't do it.
Ew, this is like the hand. I don't get it. Kathy, sometimes they make inferior chopsticks that are far too thin. I like a little girth on my chopsticks. Do you agree, Preston?
Yeah, they do make some that are heavier.
Right.
As well.
Got a little weight to them, yeah.
The ones that are not just the real, yeah. Yeah, Kathy?
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do it.
What's happening?
I know,
no,
but
you're not doing it right.
But you're not doing it.
I'm using a fork.
And there she goes. She's done. And
Use
there
the
it is.
channel. It'll get you from England to France very quickly.
All right. So anyhow, they might be doing this thing. Basically, what it looks like is a fork on one end instead of one piece. One handle that comes out the other end of the fork, it splits out into two pieces, and it's plastic, so I assume you can just kind of squeeze it and use it that way. So, yeah, everybody's got their own little technique of chopsticks. You do it like that? I do mine a little bit differently.
What do you do?
Here, can I see those pencils, Carter?
Yeah, so I use the index finger and the thumb, and I use the clamping motion is done by lowering the index finger.
I do it like this.
You're a little different than me, Steve, but similar approach.
I anchor it on my ring finger, the bottom one.
Yeah, right.
Ring finger like that. Yeah.
That's kind of what Casey, I think you and I are pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Nope.
Kathy, you nailed it.
Oh my God, you're more.
Do you?
Jesus Christ. You'd starve to death. We'd be visiting you in
Maybe I should
a
eat with chopsticks.
Chinese hospital. I can't eat. I can't eat anything.
God, how'd you lose so much weight?
I started eating with a chopstick.
This might be a great idea. I think if I start eating everything with chopsticks.
It's a total body workout. Chopsticks.
So anyhow, it's called a chork. There's something else that's going on today, and we touched on it a little bit at the end of the show yesterday because I didn't realize it's the big day for Marissa.
Yeah.
Dinner on Blanc is taking place.
Yeah. Do you follow Marissa on Instagram?
Yes, I do.
She's been posting all sorts of Dinner on Blanc shots.
I want to know, how do you get invited to this?
Oh, God,
Somebody will come up to you. Just stand out there. You are coming to a Dinner on Blanc. There's your envelope. There will be a DNA reader outside the subway station.
A DNA reader.
You.
What is your name? You're a little girl. Marissa? I like you. You amuse me. We'll see you tonight at Dinner on Blanc. Bring one chair, one table with a tablecloth. Of course, all Blanc. You do know what Blanc means, don't you?
That's part of the test.
Yeah, it's part of the test. Yeah.
Yes, you do know.
I'm not denying that
You're
it's
delightful. All right, I'm not letting you come unless you twirl around until you faint.
How do you get invited?
So you join the group. Since I've done it since the beginning, I'm in there's layers that you join in. I get to sign up in the first group. There's 3 groups, so there's a long waiting list. And they send you an email that says it's open.
It's going to be a wonderful time.
But listen, no.
At 10 o'clock at night, we're going to poke a fat woman with a stick.
Oh, God.
Listen, it's all part of it. They do that to make it so that it's it's special that you get invited, but you're not going to not get invited if you want to go.
Are you sure?
Well, there is a waiting list.
See?
But they say there's a waiting list, but they want to make this as big as possible.
Mr. Lauer, did you say? We're booked up. Why don't you take your string and silly putty? Did you say Juniata Park? Is that a place? Is that an amusement facility?
Can you bring Gary Lauer with you tonight, please?
Should bring Gary Lauer. Bring Gary Lauer in plaid.
This would be the last Dinner on Blanc ever.
Fidelio.
with a kilt and no underwear on. Look at my balls.
Jesus.
Look at my balls.
Those are white.
Yeah.
Hey, Marissa,
my balls are Blanc.
Kathy found this video of a group of people. They look like, dancers or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Doing
clearly dancing.
This perpetual motion exercise of sorts. And you keep doing this loop over and over and over.
All right.
There's no way we're going to be able to do this.
Well, also because everyone, save for height, is about the same weight.
But not only that, I just think the mechanics of it.
It's hard.
You got to coordinate.
We're skippers.
Yeah, man.
The only thing that I'm a little worried about is how will we start?
That's the only thing you're worried about?
Let's do it.
I'm worried about the number of ankles that are broken. And
It's like Beastmaster.
Oh, it is?
It's Beastmaster.
All right, I got to scratch my neck.
Yes.
Hang on.
What did you do?
Knocked him in the face.
They just smashed their faces just by scratching your nose.
Oh, my God. You made me punch myself in the face.
Wait a second.
Dick.
Just to appreciate this, we haven't even. All he did was scratch his nose, and 2 people are injured. We haven't even done the move yet.
This is never gonna work.
I went up to scratch my nose, and Casey assisted my arm by shoving his forearm up, which my hand was attached to, and I popped myself right below the eye.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
I'm going to have a black eye.
I can't. It's working.
I can't. You got to come up.
It's working.
You got to come up.
Casey,
there it is. There it is. I got it.
There.
In music news in just a moment. You will not want to miss that bit of information, but we got something else to do for now. We're going to give away a lesson question prize. And we will have a chance right now for you to win tickets as MMR rocks Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic.
Wow.
And it's going to be Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, and Alison Krauss, and a bunch of other people, Mavis Staples. So This is going to be July 4th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. The question I have for you this morning, when he was driving 19 miles an hour but couldn't engage his cruise control, what action got Casey pulled over for driving in a shore town? What was he doing? 215-263-WMMR. It's a very specific word.
Crime, yeah.
We're looking for. And maybe it was 3 times that it was said, but 215-263-WMMR. When he was driving 19 miles an hour but couldn't engage his cruise control, what action got Casey pulled over for driving in a shore town? 215-263-WMMR. We'll do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Phoenix Beach Buggies, the only beach cart you will ever need. Get all of your family's stuff to the beach with ease. Visit PhoenixBeachBuggies.com. That's Buggies with a Y. And you can get yours today. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, New York City Mayor Eric Adams considering rescinding Diddy's key to the city in light of a recent video showing him assaulting a former girlfriend. Said Adams, quote, "There's no place for a man who assaults his girlfriend in New York City where we prefer to assault total strangers."
Yes. Oh, my God.
Cops have arrested Cops have arrested 2 suspects allegedly involved in the biker brawl that also involved actor Ian Ziering. A spokesman for the LAPD described the arrest as a significant step forward in ensuring a Sharknado 7.
Oh, my God.
And finally, 78-year-old Cher seen vigorously making out with her 38-year-old boyfriend outside a Parisian hotel. Many onlookers said the whole incident looked like pudding night at the assisted living facility.
All right. Thank you, Steve. All right, let's see if we can get an answer to today's lesson question. When he was driving 19 miles an hour but could not engage his cruise control, what action got Casey pulled over for driving in a shore town? And we will go to Jim, see if he can get it right. Hey, Jim, how you doing, bud?
Hey, guys, what's going on today?
Jimmy! Hey, Jimmy. All right, what did Casey get pulled over for?
Futzing.
Futzing! Futzing. All right, Jim, hang on. Tickets to see Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic with Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, Allison Krauss, Maren Morris, Mavis Staples, and Celise.
Yeah.
This is Thursday, July 4th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. Info at WMMR.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by 80 Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. 80 Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Visit them on the web at admoyer.com. I wish Nick could have been at this. Bradley Cooper showcased his musical prowess at the Bottle Rock Festival in Napa Valley, California, treating fans to an intimate performance of Maybe It's Time from A Star Is Born alongside Eddie Vedder.
Well, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's a cool tune. They've been running A Star Is Born lately on whatever cable channel is coming up on. And he sings that song a couple of times in the movie.
It's a good song.
Really good tune.
Did Vedder have anything to do with that song? Did he?
Well, Eddie Vedder helped Bradley Cooper prepare for that role.
Right.
So Bradley Cooper went up and spent time with Ed in Seattle to get ready for A Star Is Born. I don't think he wrote any of the tunes or any of the music in the movie, but they became friends as a result, and I would like to make love to both of them.
So I figured you would. So let's listen to a little bit of this. This is the actual event. So Eddie's, I assume, playing guitar and Bradley singing?
Correct.
Here we go. That guy liked it.
That was me.
That was Nick. Okay. Did that guy woo twice like that?
No, I rewound it.
Oh, okay. So that's all we have of that. But can we isolate just the guy screaming? I'd like to hear that one more time. All right. Is that it?
Hang on. Maybe right here.
It sounds like
Nick Swartzen?
No, it sounds like the politician.
Howard Dean.
Howard Dean.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Missouri and to Nebraska. Howard Dean.
So then, later on, he, of course, by the way, he cited Eddie as a major influence. But later he joined them for a rendition of Neil Young's Rockin' in the Free World. Away from the stage, Cooper was spotted letting loose with his girlfriend, Gigi Hadid.
Hey, could you do me a favor and sing Shiloh?
I got that comment more than once this weekend on Instagram.
The couple dancing and laughing during Stevie Nicks' set amidst the star-studded weekend that also drew Cameron Diaz, Tommy Lee, Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry, with the following day at Bottle Rock featuring Ed Sheeran, Norah Jones, and Queens of the Stone Age.
Stevie Nicks, it looks like a bag full of loose sausage.
And Cooper's surprise cameo made it a little more Hollywoodish.
That is cool.
At the event. Yeah, it's awesome.
You know, when you think of songs that are sung, like Almost Famous has the Stillwater.
Yeah.
They have a couple good Stillwater songs.
Fever Dog. And,
yeah.
Who was telling me that you can actually, those songs, or was it you, Nick?
Maybe.
They're on Spotify. I mean, you can go listen to the actual full recordings of those
pretty
songs.
good songs.
Yeah, Cameron Crowe wrote them with his ex-wife from Heart.
Nancy Wilson.
Nancy Wilson, yeah. But the one from A Song Is Born, that's or Star Is Born, that's Jason Isbell wrote that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
lyrically, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways die.
Yeah.
Whoa!
He had
Maybe
that.
it's time to let the old ways die. It's a tribute to Howard Dean.
Wait, tribute to who?
Howard Dean, right?
Oh, Howard Dean. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. Sorry, Ed.
Really? Just this reverb a little bit.
That's that Howard Dean scream Vince Gilligan uses in Breaking Bad. At one point,
Really?
Yeah, he does. Walter White goes into Tuco Salamanca's little lair.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get, I guess, money back from him. He throws this crystal that explodes.
Yes.
Okay. So after that explosion, then they cut to the outside of the building, and you see the windows blow out of the building, and then you just hear. I might actually even have it saved.
I thought we had
used
the
to use it
Dean
all the time.
No,
Yeah.
well, no. I have the Howard Dean screen saved.
Which
or
is-
maybe not.
Oh.
Ah!
Yeah,
But no, so I do have that one.
It's literally the scream that killed a political career.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He might have been our president, and then he went.
Made the mistake of getting excited.
Yeah.
Back in 2004, when something like that could kill a political career.
Okay.
Just
Right.
him yelling, you know?
Yeah.
So
Different now.
Here's the explosion. So this is the Howard
Okay.
Dean scream. Just so we hear it. This is the explosion from Breaking Bad. Here it comes.
I just heard it in the background there.
Right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now pair it with the guy we just heard.
I can't. They're on the same system.
All right, no
Yeah.
problem.
It's like the Wilhelm scream.
Yes, which is a legendary. You've heard it in countless movies.
Okay.
This one goes out to the Wilhelm scream.
What?
There's and maybe we'll have to revisit this later, but there's a Teddy Swim song that I listen to all the time, and I swear to God, I hear Chewbacca in it all every time I'm like, dude, that's Chewbacca right there. Oh.
Probably talk to someone.
All right. I have another story. Actually, I have a few more stories. So let's move
there we
on
go.
to the
It's
next
'cause it's
one.
music news.
I teased this earlier. The Black Keys have discreetly pulled the plug on their highly anticipated North American International Players Tour, scrubbing all arena dates from September through November off Ticketmaster.
That's pretty wild.
I hope everybody's okay, man.
While management remains tight-lipped on the cancellation, the duo took to Instagram assuring fans that Dan Auerbach and Patrick Carney are alive and well, citing plans to reconfigure the trek into a more exciting, intimate experience.
Oh, that's
Sounds like
whack-a-ticketitis.
Okay.
With full refunds for existing tickets. The announcement comes on the heels of a recent European run promoting their new album, Dropout Boogie, and the South by Southwest premiere of a documentary delving into the pair's historically tense yet enduring partnership.
If it is like a ticketitis, do you think that they let too much time lapse and lost a bit of the momentum?
I don't know.
between.
Sometimes that can happen.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely.
Casey, where did you see him? At the Wells Fargo Center when you interviewed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can fill that room.
I didn't
They
think it was
could.
that full though. Even back then,
Yeah.
I thought it was basically lower bowl, which is nothing to sneeze at. But there are other venues in there.
I would think of them more as like a Met-sized
Yes,
band
agreed.
nowadays.
Yep, without question.
Are you ready to rock? Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm good to go.
Steve's ready. Hang on.
Yeah. All right, then I've got to rock.
All right, this was sad to see. Doug Engel, the founding singer and organist for the late 60s hard rock band Iron Butterfly and the co-writer of the group's hit Inagata Davida, has passed away at the age of 78. The singer's son, Doug Engel Jr., confirmed his father's death on social media, saying it is with a heavy heart and great sadness that we announce the passing of my father, Doug Engel. Dad passed away peacefully Friday evening in the presence of family.
It's the chorus of this song.
No cause of death was provided. Engel was the last surviving member of Iron Butterfly's classic Inagata Davida era lineup. Guitarist Eric Brand died in 2003. He was 52. Bassist Lee Dornan died in 2012 at the age of 70, and drummer Ron Bushy died in 2021 at the age of 79. Of the four musicians in the Inagata Davida lineup, Engel was the only one who was a founding member, having formed Iron Butterfly in San Diego in '66. After a handful of lineup changes, a five-piece Iron Butterfly included Engel and Bushy, put out the band's debut Heavy in 1968. Soon after release, the other three members left and were replaced by Brandon Dornan, resulting in the lineup that would create the 17-minute psych rock epic Inagata Davida. Released less than 6 months after Heavy and the lineup shuffle, Inagata Davida would sell a reported 30 million copies worldwide. Wow. And a 3-minute version of the title track, whose title was based on Bushy's mishearing of In the Garden of Eden, became a top 5 hit in the Hot 100 and a classic rock staple. Hard to believe this was a top 5 hit in the Hot 100.
I mean, stop and think about this sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, at
It's
this
very
time,
moody.
It seemed like, are these guys the devil? I'm not sure. It sounds like they're the devil.
I tell you, well, it's, I tell you.
It did sound like Rodney Dangerfield when he said
I tell you,
that.
I don't get no respect. Inagata Davida. Manhunter. The original appearance of Hannibal Lecter. It is used in that Michael Mann film.
Really?
To great effect. In fact, the final sequence of the movie is this playing in the background, the full 17-minute version.
Yep. And then one last story. The camaraderie between music legends was on full display at the Ivor Novello Awards in London, where Paul McCartney, at 81, had the honor of presenting Bruce Springsteen with a prestigious songwriting accolade. The event not only celebrated Springsteen's contributions to music, but also marked a moment of lighthearted jest as Paul playfully roasted his longtime friend during the ceremony. Bruce, known effectively as the Boss for his profound narratives about the American working class, received a unique distinction at the ceremony. He became the first international songwriter to join the Academy.
Just for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Talentless dickhead.
Talentless dickhead who?
You're the talentless dickhead.
I got you.
It's my Liverpudlian sense of humor.
He's the first international songwriter to join the Academy's fellowship, an honor reserved for the most distinguished composers and songwriters, with past recipients including Adele, Sting, Amy Winehouse, and John Lennon. In a speech that blended humor with homage, McCartney quipped about Bruce's relatable persona, stating, "He's known as being the American working man, but he admits he's never worked a day in his life. It's true." And that sent some ripples of laughter through the audience.
Go to hell! Doing this for free. Dickheads. Hey, yo. Hey, by the way, there's a new thing called singing instead of screaming. Look into it.
He continued... What?
Oh, you're still talking.
He continued to tease, suggesting other worthy international recipients like Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, Billy Joel, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift, before affectionately dubbing Springsteen.
Don't give me a pity laugh. Go to hell.
Before affectionately dubbing Bruce a lovely, lovely boy.
So, do you have the? I don't know if this is a rumor. Has Bruce canceled a portion of his European tour?
A couple of the shows.
Okay.
I saw the headline. I didn't catch any more than they had canceled like a couple of shows.
Right.
So there may be
vocal rest. I heard.
I'm not sure. There may be a follow up to that.
Yeah, one of the shows in Madrid, and it was Steve that posted on Springsteen's official Instagram that it was vocal issues.
Oh.
It's not a joke! You got some bad news here. You won't be able to see me in Madrid. My throat don't feel so good.
Is that Bruce calling in sick for work?
Yeah. Is Paul there? Tell him I'm not here. I heard you. No, you didn't. You're delirious. It's your medication.
So anyhow, he received a Songwriters Award, which is cool because he is obviously
he doesn't have enough of those.
Great songwriter. All right, and that is all I have in music news. Let's take a break and come back in a moment. Is Jackie going to be in here?
Yeah.
Jackie's filling in for Pierre for a couple days, so we'll get to chat with him on the crossover. We will be right back. Stay with us.
It started to.
I'm still standing.
It started to.
I thought we were going this way.
No.
All the way down, Marissa. Let your weight pull her. And there it goes.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
In time.
All right, so the issue is go.
See? Here we go. Now you got to move. You got to move. You got to move.
Almost. It's
Nick was just observing.
That was perfect.
That was the closest
was
so
close.
far.
And you know what it really
Nick
was?
sleeping at the wheel.
It was.
I thought we were just trying 3 people.
Lean down. That's it. And to the left. Here we go.
Casey, put your feet
Now we're going. Now we're going.
Hold me.
Dude, it's working. It's working. It's working.
I give up.
We
did it.
That was. Are you kidding? And in motion, a flowing human river. It's sort of working.
Keep going.
It's just a sea of bodies writhing. It basically looks like a bad orgy. This looks like an inept orgy. This looks like, you know what it looks like? That looks like remedial gym class. Serving, rolling, it's working. And again, remedial gym class.
Oh, my hands are in the air.
And Kathy's head is resting on Preston's ass. Casey's dead, and Marissa's crying.
Is your shin broken?
There's severe injuries, and Nick is just standing there as if he showed up to class late and doesn't know what to do.
I don't encounter people with headphones in, other than around here.
Do you know
at work? I don't encounter them that often.
When I'm out, when I go on my hike or when I'm taking the long walks, and there are people who are clearly walking along or jogging or whatever with the headphones in. I don't talk to them. I do the one thing that I do all the time though, Preston, that drives me crazy. When I'm walking and someone is I will nod and smile and I'll say hi, how are you? And even without headphones, people just don't respond to that.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm a scary looking dude, but I'm being pleasant. I'm trying to be cordial and just, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, but I rarely get a response.
Whenever I see somebody wearing headphones, you know, if it's on a plane or you know, wherever, I like to go, what are you listening to? What are you listening to? Yeah? People love that.
What are you listening to?
What are you listening to?
I have a perfect moment yesterday when Nick and I were leaving the building to go to Slash the Tires yesterday. God. We took the stairs.
Forgot to tell you guys this.
We took the stairs down.
Yeah.
And there was a guy coming up the other way, a flight up, and we were on the way down. We passed him on the stairs. Nick was wearing a purple shirt. I mean, like a bright purple shirt. And the other guy was wearing a bright purple shirt. And Nick goes, hey, it's Purple Shirt Day. And crickets, nothing out of this guy at all. And we started cracking up immediately. He just was not going to acknowledge Nick whatsoever. And I think he looked him in the eye and said it. And he just, nothing.
Is that weird, though? You look and say, how are you?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was just being friendly. You know? Yeah.
Hi. Or just
looking for a smile.
Hey, yes, I guess so. Even I would respond. And, and I would, yes, sure.
Not everybody is as gregarious and
gregarious. Gregorian monks.
Gregorian. Nobody chants quite like you do, Steve.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
head is in his hand.
Gregorian. Nobody's quite as gregarious as you.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
Oh, God.
Gregarious is what you're thinking.
Oh, but I said Gregorious. Okay, sorry. Oh, jeez, oh, man.
Buckingham Palace is now hiring. The Royal Household website has several job openings, including one for a full-time live-in housekeeping assistant.
Oh, this is role for Anne Hathaway.
The listing reads, this is no standard housekeeping role. You'll work and live in stunning historic settings, ensuring that they're presented to their best for colleagues, guests, and, of course, the royal family. Aiming for the highest standards, you'll clean and care for interiors and items from carpets and furniture to historic vases and irreplaceable paintings.
All while constantly being reminded that you're lower-class filth.
You'll take care of guests and support special events, too.
You are, for all intents and purposes, a donkey.
And in an environment where development and training is commonplace, you'll be able to...
You are no longer a human being, you are a piece of mobile furniture.
You'll be able to grow your skills far beyond your immediate role. So the job pays only about $22,000 a year.
It's prestigious, though, because once you leave that position, you are in demand.
But what's cool, too, is meals and housing is covered. So you live there and you get fed there as well. So
whatever the queen does not finish will go into a small tray, and you may pick at that.
They give you the scraps.
Yeah. Anything that falls upon the floor is yours as well.
I'm perfect for this job.
And once the royal corgis have finished with their calcan, you can go and eat that as well.
Royal corgis. You're second to the dogs.
Position will include occasional whippings.
The candidate will also get 33 vacation days.
Well, that's not too bad. Well, that's Europe for you.
Yeah, pension and access to recreational facilities. So you're only getting $22,000 a year, which you would think for that position it would probably be more. But housing, meals, 33 vacation days, pension, access to the recreational facilities, that ain't too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's
You'll
pretty good.
occasionally be called upon to provide sexual favors for the Queen Mama.
But yeah, this community down in Texas, there's a foot fetish guy who is targeting the real estate community, and that's where he's decided, these are the people that are easy to track down.
That guy's pretty threatening, though. I read the article.
Is he pretty threatening?
Yeah, like he says, I know where you are, and if you don't send them, you'll need protection 24 hours a day. That was one of the texts he sent.
Send pictures of your feet?
Yes, or
really?
Yeah.
That's a very malicious foot fetish dude.
Yeah,
Honest to God, I mean,
MMR, but and tickets on sale. Go get them. Be there. These warm evenings have got to make you feel like you want to be a part of a community music outside event, and you certainly can. So get them before they're gone. WMMR.com for all of the details. Been a hell of a day today. Just to recap a little bit of it, it was awesome to reveal the information about the Jersey Shore 64, which is brought to you by DHY Motorsports. We have 64 different things about the Jersey Shore that are facing off against each other, and they're real locations. So it's either, a bar or restaurant or ice cream place or a beach or a park, all these different things that make the Jersey Shore awesome. Yeah, there's boat rides and amusement parks and all this stuff. Vying for the number one slot, and you get to vote on it. It's a bracket style. And when we get down to the winner, Pierre Robert is going to do his show one day from one of those locations.
It's great. And the fact, again, for like the newbies, Preston, for me, I'm not anywhere near as well versed in the Jersey Shore as are you guys. And I'm like, that sounds cool. You guys are going through some of the stuff this morning. I'm like, I think I want to check that out.
Yep. So take a look at the first matchups at WMMR.com and vote along, and you will help us decide. Also, like to thank Adam Kenali for being here. Kenali, actually. And he's the Phillies bat boy. And he is vying for the Philadelphia Visionaries of the Year candidate class for 2024, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And he has a cornhole tournament that's coming up on Thursday. It will be at Tonewood Brewing from 5 to 9:30. It's the Barrington location. There's 2 locations. Make sure you go to the Barrington one. And the Phils aren't playing that day. He's got some pretty tight buddies. And, you never know who might be showing up. He's not saying officially, but he's it's going to be quite a few cool people there, including Nick McElwain. So stop in and your chance to win some stuff and bid on some really cool autographed items from the Phils. Thank you to Vigo Mortensen. Wow. Super nice guy, insanely talented. His new film, which he wrote, directed, and stars in, called The Dead Don't Hurt, is in theaters on Thursday, and it's getting great reviews.
It is.
So it was nice to talk to him and our good, close, personal friend, Caitlin Olson. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. 3rd season of Hacks is on Max, and now a new series called High Potential debuting this fall. So she's excited about all of that. And we're excited that Jackie Bam Bam is here with us. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, guys. I am back.
Yeah.
Back to being a Pierre Robert do-gooder.
You survived the weekend. Thanks for being at Keenan's with the Uptown String Band.
Thank you so much for allowing us to bring the mummers there. And I think they're still lined up at Keenan's trying to get in. What a great day.
It was unbelievable. You've been out before, right? You'd seen, but that was just one for the record books.
It's been years, yeah. I mean, I could not move in there.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, so we had a good time. The gang got up and played a song for us, and then I'm sure they spent the rest of the day going around from place to place playing or knowing those guys. I don't know.
I mean, that day and all weekend long, all mummers had parades, to raise money for us. So thank you for Uptown String Band. They were so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, they were excellent. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so you're in for Pierre today and tomorrow?
I am.
All right, well, let's do the letter of the day.
Ready?
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
The letter S, as in silly.
All right, and there's only going to be 4 letters you need to keep track of for the Word of the Week prize, and we have a pair of pit tickets for the sold-out Chris Stapleton concert, Thursday, June 6th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Details and concert information at WMMR.com. What will you do with the airwaves today, Jackie?
It's a double shot Tuesday already. Pierre started off our Vinyl Summer weekend, so he gave me a couple birthdays to celebrate over the weekend, so we'll do it today. Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac turned 76. Lenny Kravitz turned 60 over the weekend. We lost Greg Allman 7 years ago over the weekend. We'll line them up with workforce blocks in the prize golf. And speaking of birthdays, the architect of CCR, John Fogerty, is 79 today. So we'll give you a chance at winning those tickets in the prize coffin. And he's coming back with Lonesome George Thorogood.
All right. Excellent, Jackie. And by the way, today's Tuesday. That means Tat Tuesday. And we got to get a winner. And the recipient of a $350 gift certificate from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing is Josie Weiser. From West Deptford, New Jersey. Congratulations, Josie. You'll be able to pick your Preston and Steve show tattoo at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. You can find them at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. And for artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. Thank you to the sponsors of our program. Been brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Manhattan Bagel. Try the new French toast egg sandwich at Manhattan Bagel today. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Secret text word, Fox Good Day, and 2 in-studio guests. The very lovely Mary Lou Henner. And she has joined us on a few occasions.
She's great.
And she'll be joined by Richard Klein. Richard played on Three's Company, Larry, the neighbor, the best friend. So we are going to have them in the studio tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to it.
That's pretty awesome, man. And he looks pretty good.
That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, friend. We'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve.
Preston and